Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Oomph, how you doing? I'm on time today. I'm on time today. I'm on time. I'm on time today. How's everybody doing? Howdy. Howdy, partners. Welcome to Wake and Bake. I didn't bake this morning. I'm very much looking forward to the next baking. The coming of the bake. Happy Friday. Holy shit. Oh my God, it's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Good morning. Hey, Dan. How are you, darling? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, we made it through. I guess some of us made it through another week. Not everybody, but some of us did. What a depressing thought. Because it's true. I don't want to do that. That's mean. I mean, it is sad. Safety meeting plus plus. Oh, isn't that a Mercado thing? Isn't he into he has safety meetings when he's just chitty chatting? Adriana! Oh my God, I love you so much. I miss you, girl. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Good morning, darling. Good morning, Sister Lee. Oh, and good morning, my sister J Rance. Oh, I love you guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Audrey, it's so good to see you. I hope you're well. I think about you. I get to see you sometimes on Twitter. Yeah, happy Friday. Dan the man. Neil is here. Same. I know. All you do is work. I understand. Sort of. I think of it as a break to smoke weed. Good. Like it. I like it. I like it better than the other marketing I gave it. Hi, Todd. How are you? Good morning to the Todd and Heather combo that we sometimes are lucky enough to get. Really good to see everybody on a Friday. I know. It's been one, hasn't it? It's only going to be more of ones. Every week is going to, I think, bring a kind of heaping sigh of relief. Yeah, I like safety meeting for weed smoking. I think that's better. I like it. It works for me. And it is about safety. Safety of my brain. No, oh my God, I look like, I don't know what I look like. I look like one of those, I look like Shelley Winters. I'm in my Shelley Winters era. Teresa, holy shit. Combo for the next hour and then we lose one of you. Damn. All right. Well, if we must. I just got my garden planted and it already feels like it's not. Oh my God. Jay, I don't know how you do that down there in Florida. But I will tell you, when I lived in Florida, the winters in Florida are magical. Magical. That weather is just magical. So, I don't know. I hope you're able to enjoy it. We're now getting into the idyllic season in Florida, which is great. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see. I will not be a slave to the lethal good system. Yeah, there you go. Good system. Food system. Oh, I see. I will not be a slave to the lethal food system or good system. It's so hot in Florida, I bet. Today's going to be like the hottest day here in Los Angeles. I think the high is going to be 95 and 117% humidity. No, it's not going to. I mean, it's going to be bad humidity, but it's not going to be 117%. Because that would be raining. Even I know that. So, let's see. Yeah, it's going to be a hot motherfucker here, too. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm going to try and stay inside. I have to do laundry, though, so I have to go outside a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, laundry day today. Hey, Jane is here. Hells to the yeah. Good morning, Jane. We have something coming up in a few minutes with Kevin Warsh. Kevin's going to give us the details on how he's trying to please all the bosses that he has in his world now from the Fed. And but first, I want to play a little bit of, because I haven't heard the CEO of Flock Cameras speak. So I wanted to play. Unfortunately, all I could find this morning was this ridiculous interview by Kaylee McEnany Moosehead. And so I want to, I want to show you that. Okay, here we go. Let's see, because I didn't know. What's this kid look like? What are you all about? Almost didn't do the audio. Stop making me so tiny. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the Flock CEO. Believe it or not, this amoeba is the CEO of Flock. I don't understand it myself.
We've seen Bernie Sanders, who wants to ban these cameras. Burchett wants to ban federal funding to fund these cameras.
He thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny that Bernie wants to ban the Flock cameras.
In local jurisdictions, what's your reaction to the privacy concerns that many Americans have?
Yeah, look, I think these are important conversations to have. I value my privacy. My family values their privacy. My employees value their privacy.
I don't know who I would allow to be in charge of a company that records me everywhere I go, but I know on face it ain't him. Nerd, mind your goddamn business, nerd, is what I say.
And so when I think about legislation that calls for an outright ban, that's like banning vehicles.
Sorry,
that would never have made sense. Instead, what we did is we introduced laws against drunk driving. And when I look at this type of technology, there's two key things we have to get right. We have to get data retention right. So how long is this data stored? Now, we most recently updated our recommendation to 7 days. The most strict state regulation to date is 21 days. The second thing we have to get right is accountability. What happens if law enforcement abuses this powerful technology? Today, it is too often that in Flock and in other technologies, there's no regulation. There's no accountability, and we think that's wrong. And so last week, we announced changes that required auditing, that required using our audit assistance tool, which detects abnormal behavior. And we're calling on state regulators to focus less on banning this type of technology and more holding our law enforcement community accountable.
So that's what he wants to do, because it's, how it's coming out that these Flock cameras, all these cops are using it to chase down exes and all this bullshit, of course. And he then acts like he's the fucking hero by saying, oh, well, we insisted on all these auditing features now that you've released it into the wild, you now are going to try and rein it back in? You fucking little idiot, Garrett Langley. I'm going to be looking into you, Garrett. I think this is mostly the rest of him. That's fine. Okay. Which I love the damage report. It's a great show, but I don't want to take all his content for that. I just don't want to. All right. Well, this is going to start in a few minutes. He is selling your information. Actually, I want to look him up. Let's look him up. Garrett Langley. Come here. Garrett Langley. So far, mint, basil, kale, jalapeno, and habanero. I'm going to try and do lettuce when it gets cooler. That's so nice. Ooh, that's going to be so nice. That's going to be nice. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Yesterday, Flock CEO Garrett Langley targeted as address shared online. Wait a minute. I gotta do this. I gotta share this. Hold on. Holy shit balls. Holy shit balls. Where is it? There it is. Here we go. From Newsweek yesterday. I love this. Did you see Darth Vader speaking at a town hall or a city council meeting about Flock cameras? That was really good. Darth Vader got up and spoke in support of Flock cameras. my gosh, I'm just about to harvest my lemon basil and make the pesto ice cubes. Oh boy, I'm going to have to tell Bobo about that one. She's going to really, oh boy, that sounds really good. Oh, and more herbs since they're on the bad list. Yeah, really. What's not on the bad list right now? I mean, they're pooping on everything. They're pooping on everything. Okay, wait, I gotta read this because this is funny. I'm sorry. I think it's funny. Maybe it's not funny. Hold on, let me do this so you can see it a little better. All right, critics of flock safety are circulating an address they say belongs to company founder and CEO Garrett Langley, marking an escalation in the widespread backlash to the surveillance technology company is facing amid concerns over privacy and potential police misuse. I know, I love these. The CEO was probably like, what the flock? Numerous posts sharing an address purportedly belonging to Langley have circulated on X, with many users responding to a viral post that quoted Langley as saying Americans must compromise on their privacy. Happy poop! Oh, yes! That's amazing. There we go. Happy poop. Let's see. Some shared what they said was a blurred image of Langley's home on Google Street View, with one ex-user saying the compromise apparently doesn't apply to him. Newsweek has not verified the address, is not publishing or linking to it, blah, blah, blah. Renewed attention came after Langley recently appeared on Fox News Saturday in America, where he called for a compromise between public safety and privacy because he needs a new boat. Lemon is so good. Oh my God. I love lemon basil. Oh, spicy globe. I don't even know if I've encountered. When people talk about just one of the, wait a minute, we need a baby
voice. We need a baby voice for this guy. He's definitely baby voice material. Okay. When people talk about just one of these, privacy or safety, they're prioritizing the wrong thing. Yeah. And it's a you problem. It's not a me problem. And what we have to prioritize as a country is compromise. Like, you know what? Maybe not everybody needs rights, right? We could compromise on whether or not everybody needs rights, right? Couldn't we? I mean, you know, how do we have our safety and how do we balance privacy? And I don't know. Why is the sky blue? I don't really know. Anyways, I'll see you later. I gotta go get my chakras aligned.
The comments came as a backlash against Flock intensified this summer as a series of investigations and police misconduct cases raised new questions about who can search Flock's nationwide network and how that information can be used. The company operates a vast nationwide network of automated license plate readers. The technology is used by thousands of law enforcement agencies in 49 states, allowing officers to search and share data across jurisdictions to assist investigations. We have a herd of 15 deer. We can't grow anything. I know. Well, you're among friends, Jim, because Max has a deer. She dearly has a problem. Let's see. I wonder, I got a ticket from like the Northern Bay Area for a night where I was in Santa Cruz, and it had my, like, you know, a fuzzy picture of my license plate, but I wasn't in the area at the time of I haven't been in the area that it said I was in for years, right? Like for years. So I wonder now if that was a Flock camera thing. I don't really get how that could happen, because literally I was not where they say that I am. I think they said I was on the Bay Bridge, and I'm like, I haven't been on the Bay Bridge since probably, I don't know. I don't even know. 2009? It was the last time I was on the Bay Bridge. It was a long time ago. I don't know if they're heirloom. They aren't as easily sourced, but you can find them at different nurseries. I think I got the spicy at Rural King. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Backers of the technology say it helps solve crimes and locate missing people, but critics argue that it enables mass surveillance and creates opportunities for misuse. More than 50 cities and towns have deactivated, rejected, or canceled flock contracts since the beginning of the year, according to a tally by DeFlock, a grassroots group formed to track the use of the technology. That's really cute. Langley has given a series of interviews to news outlets as his company faces scrutiny from lawmakers from both parties, civil liberties advocates, and citizens.
You to be very careful with your choices.
Here we go. Hold on.
I learned years ago, you can take two different kinds of hikes on the trails around Jackson.
Hold on.
Sum up my hikes with former Vice Chairman Don Cohn with two words.
Hold on.
I survived. These steely marathon
Why is that funny?
Revealed the sign of Don that I was not ready for. But there's another kind of hike.
Why is this doing this?
This one was with former Chairman Ben Bernanke, another dear old colleague. With Ben, it was a much more leisurely...
Sorry. No sound. I am so sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. God damn it. I don't know why it defaults to not sharing the fucking audio. Stop it. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
As I learned years ago, you can take two different kinds of hikes on the trails around Jackson. I can sum up my hikes with former Vice Chairman Don Cohn with two words. I survived.
Yes.
These steely marathon death marches revealed the sign of Don that I was not ready for. But there's another kind of hike. This one was with former Chairman Ben Bernanke. Another
gave you the hoof. I hear
you. It was
you.
a much more leisurely pace, an easy stroll along the wandering trails of the Rockefeller Preserve. So before setting out
The Rockefeller Preserve.
the recommendation is do a wellness check.
There you go.
Ask yourself, is this a Cohn day or a Bernanke day? The best thing about this gathering
that's Fed humor.
Get out here to the mountains and clear our minds and think straight about our world and our time. For me, it feels like the right place and the right audience.
Oh my God, you have coyotes and a bear? Oh God, that's my nightmare.
Innovation, as Kristen mentioned, is the conference theme. And I believe the public and the markets understand that innovations in the conduct of Fed policy will help deliver price stability alongside full employment. So here's a quick overview of what I'll cover in my remarks this morning.
That is so smart, Max.
Call it an outline, you can call it a trail map, but please just don't call it forward guidance. First, I'll touch on a few of the long...
Okay, the reason he said that is because he wants to do less telegraphing of what the Fed's going to do in the days leading up to these announcements. He wants the Fed to be less transparent. That's literally what this guy is pushing. And so that little joke was like, wait, what did he say?
Forward guidance. First, I'll touch on a few of the longer term questions we're asking at the Fed about the latest general purpose technology, AI, and where it might take the economy. Then I'll reflect a bit on the practice of forward guidance and the interaction between the central bank and financial markets. Next, I'll present some of the key principles that I believe should guide the conduct of monetary policy. And finally, I'll give you my assessment of what's happening in the economy. So first, I think we should try to prepare a bit for future policy conjunctures.
Here we go.
With the unchanging picture of the Tetons as our backdrop, we are here to survey an economic landscape that is anything but static. It wasn't so long ago.
I missed it. It's fine.
Including in rooms like this, in the run-up to the crisis of 2008 and over the decade that followed, when economists and policymakers were
really
speaking
good,
of
Neil.
secular stagnation, speaking of a global savings glut.
Like a basil ice
It's a widely
cube.
held view that an excess of capital would sit on the sidelines for a very long, long time because there just wouldn't be enough compelling investment opportunities. All the good stuff, you'll recall, had been invented. So growth would be low and slow. Well, times sure have changed.
I'm so sorry. You're right, Neil. This is Kevin Warsh, who proclaimed in his in his confirmation hearing, I am not a sock puppet. So I always equate him with a sock puppet in my head. But he, to me, is probably a bad guy. He has taken over from Jerome Powell, the head of our central bank. He's now the head of our central bank. And he's a Trump appointee, obviously. We watched some of his confirmation hearing. But yeah, he's the guy who said, I'm not a sock puppet. And I went, oh, sir, I beg to differ.
We've come to a hinge point in history.
He's talking about interest rates.
A framing from my former mentor, George Schultz. To cite the clearest example, progress in AI.
Oh yeah, the small print. Sorry.
Newest technology has been faster.
Yeah, do it yourself, Neil. What do you want me to tell you everything?
The potential for substantially higher growth is on the rise.
What am I, the host? Wait a minute.
Pools of capital pouring into AI-related infrastructure of all sorts.
I am the host.
Kind of super Moore's law seems to be playing out. Scaling laws, too, are changing both the method and speed of innovation.
I'm a marionette.
Capital
Big difference.
Combined to create large language models at the heart of
Neil,
AI.
that's the best.
Users buy tokens to gain access to these.
I'm no sock puppet.
Reports
I'm a marionette.
Token sales
bitch.
For the two leading labs alone.
He's a friend of Alex Karp's. That's enough said.
An increase of 500%.
Very much connected to Epstein elite.
Months ago. We at the Fed.
Have you seen my car keys? I think I have seen them.
We recognize that AI is a new variable.
I have them.
Potentially a new factor of production that will have consequences both for the economy and for the conduct of monetary policy.
You got no strings to hold me down.
It opens up some major lines of inquiry. Will the application of AI cause a significant sustained rise in productivity across the economy? If so, when? Will token usage be complementary or competitive to labor? Will the next generation of AI models demand even greater capital intensity too? Or will the models themselves help devise a capital-light solution? Among the other yet unknowns is the
wow, these guys are really hoping this AI is magical. It's like
money.
Weird science.
It's not obvious when
this is kind of like the guys in AI are trying to build their weird science girl. You know, do you ever think of that? You ever think of that movie? I think about that a lot when I think about these guys. I think about the guys in Weird Science that just wanted to build like a sex robot, you know, and that's why I think of the AI guys. Like they just want to build something that's going to help them, you know, like and going to get their yayas out.
Where the returns on capital will land.
Now I will. Thank you. Thank you. Mission accomplished, Jane. Mission fucking accomplished. Kelly LeBrock. That's right. Fucking great movie, but weird. Kind of weird.
Over time, how much of that value accrues to businesses and consumers?
I thought it was creepy when I was a kid. I'm like, why are these kids with this grown woman? That part was really creepy. So maybe it's not a good idea to watch that movie. My son had to go to Boston for a business meeting. I told him when they asked for khakis, leave his pants on. Oh, when they asked for his khakis. Hey, I used to live in Boston. Yeah, you can't leave your khakis on the counter over there. I left my khakis at the Dunkin' Donuts over on the corner. Jerome Powell looked like a central banker. This guy looks like an office politician. This guy looks like the head of the bank, or, you know, like the bank manager that you have to go see when you're overdrawn too much. Of course, AI. He is AI. This guy is the milk toastiest of guys I've ever seen. Now we'll see what damage he does as part of the Fed, but yeah, he's milk toast in a box.
What are the implications for workers?
Hole to have to go to Jackson Hole to meet?
Fed's mandate. Likewise, we don't yet know the equilibrium.
Maybe we need to end these really
tokens
fancy
that give
meetings.
access to these models.
You save money
Might
there.
there be a heterogeneity of tokens, such that growing sums will be paid for the access to the best models, those at the frontier? Will token prices for older models fall to the level of their marginal cost? Well, we'll be thinking through these matters with the help of a...
Why is he thinking about tokens? I know that's the... Okay, so tokens are the product of... I don't understand the token part of this whole thing. I think I need a primer on like the whole AI creates tokens. I read something about Jensen Huang who was talking about compute. You know, we were talking about compute yesterday. And tokens are involved in compute, and it's like price per token or something like that. Token generated, I guess, out of this. Anyway, it's just so odd to me. Like I need to wrap my head around that fucking part of the world because it's not going away.
Task force on productivity
Uranus was
jobs.
full. It always
Thoroughly
is.
checking
God,
who the
there's
leaders of
no
that
room
task
in there.
force and the
There's
rest
zero room
have been
in
very
Uranus.
encouraging. To be clear,
Zero.
though, their recommendations will come later and have no bearing on decisions we make in the current policy conjunction. But I believe that for future policy
I don't know.
challenges, this intellectual investment today will leave us much better prepared for tomorrow. Next, let me say a word about forward
Oh my
guidance
God.
and its substitutes.
This is everything
As our
that's wrong with
task forces
this.
go about their work, as you might know, I'm not waiting to introduce
I mean, I've been in
innovations
corporate
the Fed.
things. I've been in corporate meetings, like, where you go to a big meeting and you fuck around, drink too much and da 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 da. And they are always in nice resorts, right? Management meetings and shit like that. Go down to Scottsdale, Arizona to the big resort down there and all this shit. I know that. I've been part of those. I still think they're a waste of money and I still think it's a waste of time. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, because I was a drunk. I loved it. So we went to these types of places all the time when I was in corporate, not in nonprofit, but in corporate. And it was great. Oh, I like Jackson Hole too. I would love to spend time in Jackson Hole. Tokenization, probably different token, is critical to e-commerce authentication and transaction. I think that's the point, Oomph. I think you're correct. I mean, I think that's what he is talking about, token. But I like the first token that you. That's how I want my token.
To highlight
Yes, thank
one
you, Oomph.
example, I've set out to change the form and function of the Fed chairman's so-called forward guidance.
Here we go.
You might know about my longtime discomfort with early pronouncements of future policy decisions. I much prefer another path, and now we'll make the case for it. Transparency in communications about future policy decisions.
Get ready, kids.
Is not an end unto itself. Communications must be in service to the Fed's paramount responsibility. And what is that? That's getting policy right.
Wait a minute. But if you are breaking the norm of how information flows, thereby catching everyone off guard, to what end, sir? To what end do you think it's better to not? Like, I hope he's going to make the case for why giving forward guidance isn't going to be his thing, Like, what the fuck?
Forward guidance as a regular practice was adopted by my colleagues and me during the global financial crisis. It was essential at the time, and we introduced it with much fanfare. But as with other legacies of crises past, I believe the practice has outstayed its welcome. In normal times, the role of forward guidance should be limited and circumscribed.
Why?
Otherwise, it risks creating ambiguity in the name of clarity.
What? How?
Oversharing policy deliberations and overcommitting to future decisions.
They don't want to disclose the deliberations between federal governors. That's why. Because they don't want to, it'll be nice and mysterious, just like SCOTUS. That's what that's what this dude wants. He doesn't want any of the machinations and the disagreements and the votes of maybe contrarian Fed governors. He doesn't want that as part of the public. because and what he claims is it just causes so much confusion. No, it doesn't. It gives us transparency into the thought process of the Federal Reserve. You fucking Nazi. So no, it's not a good thing. Because all it's doing is taking behind closed doors what in the past was pretty open, pretty well discussed. Because it's an academic exercise as well. And so why wouldn't you open up your academic exercise, figuring out where interest rates should go, all that kind of stuff? Why wouldn't you allow that to be open so that people can understand how you got to the decision that you made? Yeah, it used to be the Supreme Court was thoroughly forthright about their collective agreement or lack thereof. I just don't think it behooves us or anyone who's not in the Fed, or in the administration. I don't think it behooves us to not know if there's disagreement between Fed governors. I feel like that makes it a much more understandable announcement and other, wow.
Decisions can lead markets, businesses, and households astray. And I believe when policymakers make quasi-commitments on interest rates throughout the cycle, we inhibit our own freedom to make the right calls.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Fucking shit. If you want to make a decision to cut rates or whatever, you're going to bow down to public pressure? Is that what you're telling us, Kevin? Is that you would literally, if you got pushback, that you would be so fucking insecure in your decision making that you would not be able, A, to explain it to the people, or B, defend it? What the fuck?
Policy right, we also need to get the relationship right between the central bank and
is
financial
yuck.
Markets. The markets.
Hagman. Oh, God, yeah.
Market signals.
Couldn't believe she won. I mean, but Cheney, whatever.
From market internals, from the level and change in asset prices across sectors, the prices and trading volumes of Treasury securities, the foreign exchange value of the dollar, the cost and availability of credit, a broad set of commodity prices.
Only one rep? No.
Inform the
Does
Fed's
it?
near-term outlook on economic activity and inflation throughout the business cycle. They should also reveal the state of broader financial conditions and the risks and uncertainties of the financial cycle. At the same time, market participants themselves should be tracking real information about the real economy. They should draw their own conclusions, form their own expectations.
Yeah, it's only one.
Things like
you're right.
And employment and inflation.
You are right.
And they too should stay sharply attuned to risks. In my view, the Fed should be humble and never naive.
That's weird.
The Fed plays an essential role in the economy and markets.
That is so weird.
Our tools are powerful. We determine the path of short-term interest rates.
Wow, that's right.
And market participants will always try to anticipate what we will do next.
Correct.
But we should not indulge a regime in which market participants are looking primarily to the Fed for their next trade. The economic...
Yeah, they should listen to the president if they're going to look for information on their next trade.
Literature is long described.
Oh yeah, they definitely have state legislatures, legislators. It's just, federally they only have one House of Representatives.
Materially on the Fed's guidance.
Yeah.
And the Fed relies on market prices.
That's right,
We're
girl.
more likely to be blinded to new developments, more likely to be caught unprepared, and more likely to commit errors in policymaking.
Really? Because is that the way it's been happening?
Market participants are unlikely to bear the biggest costs of the Hall of Mirrors problem. The most serious harm is likely to befall those without any financial assets. If the Fed gets...
Oh, y'all, he cares about poor people. Don't worry. He's going to run the Fed in the interest of poor people.
Inflation wrong and judges the economy wrong, who gets the worst of it? Not the financial high flyers. Hardworking Americans.
I love this. I love when they act like they're the man of the people.
Or jobs that suddenly appear less secure.
I had civics, but it was basically in the 70s, okay? Or no, it was in the 80s. That's not true.
How about the new Fed chief commits at a meeting just like this to some explicit reaction function? Surely he could tell us his interest rate path if, say, the data were to come in hot or cold. Well, I wish our understanding of the economy were so precise as to provide a mechanical, tried and true answer. That some simple function, like a Taylor rule, could be rigorously relied upon.
Everybody knows this already, Kevin.
Does not extend that far.
What?
At least not yet. And other factors most relevant to the proper conduct of monetary policy, they change over time. Providing forecasts to illustrate the Fed's reaction.
Yeah, Loomis and Barroso. Loomis, the crypto queen.
Better in the lab than in the field.
She's a crypto bro.
I am not alone in noticing that forward guidance in 2021, to cite just one example, might well have slowed the policy response to high inflation. In my term as chairman, my colleagues and I will endeavor to construct more reliable models, more robust rules, and we'll do this knowing that accuracy in forecasting is still just an aspiration.
You know, here's what I know about managing, okay? When you have a new manager and they walk in and within, a few weeks, they stand up and say, everything here is broken and we're going to build tools that we need in order to unbreak what is broken here. He's like that new boss that comes in and assumes what should change and assumes everything's shitty and he has the ideas that are going to change it. Instead of being an adult and understanding what works and what doesn't and handling it within your team, but not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So when a person comes in like they're a manager and says things like this where they make kind of, if only we had a tool that we didn't have before, now we're really going to get down to business. We're really going to figure out our accuracy, as if there was no accuracy and no plan prior to his coming to this organization. It is, it shows me that he actually is not good at what he does, because that kind of talk is the bastion of poor managers. That shows me that it is not a thoughtful approach to what might need to change in your organization. And you're basically just bashing the past people and saying, we're going to do everything right. And that to me is rookie. That's a rookie management thing. That's what stupid young managers do when they come in and act like they know all the shit. When I took over a high school as executive director, my first 2 weeks were sitting with every employee for at least 20 minutes and just having them tell me what works in this school and what doesn't work. No holds barred. And so I just listened. And I'm sure I did things that were stupid, like saying, oh yeah, we need to change this, and being naive about the way things change. But I also know that if you're not listening and really, I don't know, it's just a rookie move. It's a rookie move to be so like, everything everyone did in the past was wrong, and now we're going to do it right. Well, you haven't done anything right yet. So, proof's in the pudding, bitch.
With so much changing so fast in our geopolitics, global supply chains.
Yeah, according to your boss.
It's wise to be modest about what we can and cannot know as we sit
I
here.
guess so. You're right. I don't know, Neil.
In the same
Why do I
spirit,
even bother?
We should receive the full range of ideas on matters that may inform the Fed's monetary policy discussions. If the aim is optimal decision making, and it should be, we should not crowd out views on the economy. How then to chart a better path to policy?
That little comment was a nod to people like Kevin Hassett, who's a Fed governor, and to Stephen Mirren, who's a Fed governor now. Is Kevin Hassett a Fed governor? Wait, he might be something else. Hi, Stephanie. Teddy and I just got done playing hibiscus with the hibiscus. I love that. Yum. We are the hibiscus channel here. No, not trying to be discouraging. No. You're totally right. No, I mean, it's absolutely true. The people are being chosen for these roles not because they're competent. It's because they'll do what he wants. And this guy is part of this whole like Silicon Valley bullshit thing. We saw him in an interview with Alex Karp where he's kissing Alex Karp's butt on behalf of Stanford. So you know what? This guy's just a fucking loser like everybody else in this administration. And he's acting like he's going to be such a great, but he's just telling us that he's going to be less transparent. That's literally all he's saying right now. He's saying we're going to be less transparent. How's that a good thing?
Balance of my remarks, I will share with you some key principles that guide my thinking on the appropriate conduct of monetary policy.
Oh, great.
Then I'll offer my promised assessment of the economy. So let's turn first to principles.
I am too, Adriana.
First, I've noticed in this line of work,
eat the rich.
Yesterday's news has a way of getting mistaken for what's happening right now. The challenge is to know the difference. In other words, we must interrogate reality. Make sure we're not setting forward-looking policy based on stale or inaccurate data. Nor should we rely on isolated data points. Trends matter most. The Fed's a decision.
Wait, what? Okay.
We make choices amid uncertainty, and the data upon which we draw must be relevant, contemporaneous, accurate, and as actionable as possible. Second principle. The Fed's actions are intended to ensure that the aggregate demand side of the economy is broadly consistent with aggregate supply. However, all we observe directly is activity. We never see and can only infer what's really happening on the supply side. Hence, evaluating the current and expected balance between aggregate supply and aggregate demand is imprecise. Third principle, there should be no misunderstanding. The Fed's price.
Oh, that's right. Barrasso did that.
As measured by the PCE price index is a
and he still won.
Fixed target. Let me be equally clear about another aspect of this objective. Price stability is not self-executing, nor is inflation necessarily mean reverting. It's the Fed's job to deliver stable prices, no excuses. Fourth principle. The Fed also bears responsibility for maximum employment. Achieving both sides of our mandate over the medium term is not an either-or proposition. I do not believe the Fed's dual mandate works at cross purposes. After all, high inflation itself is very harmful to economic prosperity. Fifth principle. Short-term interest rates are the predominant tool to achieve the dual mandate. Unconventional policies to spur economic activity may suit genuine crises, of which we all have much experience, but they should otherwise be used sparingly, if at all. Sixth, money matters. I know it's not fashionable these days, but my view is that money has something important to do with monetary policy. We should pay attention to money created by the central bank and money that comes from the banking and financial system. It's true that financial innovations, the subject of this conference, and other factors alter the mechanics that link the monetary base, the velocity of money, and the broader economy. But that is scarcely a reason to ignore the ultimate effects of money on financial conditions and prices. Finally, a quieter Fed, a more purposeful Fed in its communications, is better able to meet its objectives. And we can be held accountable for delivering on our remit, the only true test of our credibility.
Can't find it.
To borrow a line from General Chuck Yeager, at the moment of truth, there are either reasons or results. So having heard a little bit about
Max.
AI and general purpose technologies, having heard a little bit about the next policy conjuncture, a little bit on principles, let's turn to the economy today. Given those principles, how do I read the economy? What's really going on outside the window? It's a little ironic. There are no windows in this room, but they're big ones at the Federal Reserve. And we've been using those in my first 100 days, and I expect we're going to continue to use those in the period right ahead of us.
Oh, he's not current Fed governor. Thank you so much.
Unanimous view of the FOMC.
Thank you, Max.
Labor markets were stable.
That's right.
Output solid.
I think he's the head of the economic advisors right now.
A good majority of my colleagues and I thought the wiser course was to await new information in the intermeeting period, especially given possible developments in supply chains, investment flows, and geopolitics, before deciding whether a change in interest rate.
I know, isn't he?
was
God,
advisable.
Pep.
And we expressed our joint readiness to act
Give me Jerome
as
Powell.
circumstances require. For my part today, as we sit here, I'm impressed by the overall performance of the economy, which appears to have strengthened.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kevin. Wait, Kevin. Kevin, what? Kevin, wait, what? I do remember the purge of Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yeah. That's why we don't know if labor stats are legit anymore. I always check ADP payroll. Kevin. Wait, what did he just say?
The economy, which appears to have strengthened.
That's it. Kevin just said that the economy is strong. My eyes twitching because Kevin just said the economy is strong. So you guys that, you can't afford your like coffee or, produce anymore, you're just getting it wrong. You're just a Pavel. You don't you don't have enough money. Sorry.
One indicator of strength is how well an economy holds up under stress, how well it holds up under shocks. On that score, both Main Street and Wall Street have been remarkably resilient.
Wow. Okay.
Several other
You lost me
observations.
officially.
Business capex is rising rapidly.
Because of AI.
Change in investment in equipment and intangibles has been around 9%, its highest growth rate since 2021. And more than half of the capex growth can likely be ascribed to the build out related to AI.
Oh, half, you think?
Profits.
More than half.
For the firms in the S&P, profits have grown more than 20% over the past year alone. Profit margins are quite elevated.
I cannot believe this. I can't believe this.
Equity market volatility, quite low.
I cannot believe this.
We're staying keenly focused on
Oh my
market
God.
internals, watching performance across sectors. Expectations for both growth in capex and corporate earnings are running quite high. I continue to watch the change in the growth rates, the second derivative. The follow-on effects on asset prices, business confidence, consumer incomes and spending are equally important to gauge. Credit spreads on corporate bonds and leveraged loans are near the low end of their historical averages. And issue volumes this year, quite strong. Looking beyond
What is wrong with you?
Markets to the banking business.
Why are you people complaining? Kevin is telling you everything is fine. Why are you so complaining? What do you mean? What do you mean you just graduated from college and you can't find a job? What do you mean? Why are you complaining? Everything is fine. Everything is fine from here at Jackson Hole.
Business. In the July so-called SLOOS survey, banks tell us that standards for C&I loans are on the easier end of their historical ranges.
This
helps explain their growth that we've seen this year in these loans.
Oh, is a politician in? Oh, that's right, Greg Ginforty. Sorry, Neil. Neil News Service regrets the error.
Housing and agriculture are showing strains, but on balance, I would be hard pressed to describe broad financial conditions as restrictive.
So there. Yeah, aren't just the well-off the ones keeping the spending numbers up? Yeah, they are. Yeah. This guy is worse than I thought. Okay, I thought maybe he was at least one of those dudes who would say what he needed to do to get the job, but then maybe be the guy who was just going to do the job the way the job should be done, but, kind of act like he's MAGA. No. He's actually MAGA. No, he's actually a believer that this economy and what this regime did to the economy is the right thing and that the economy is still strong. He's lying. I know, Neil. It's okay. You clarified it. Isn't that what the Fed chair is about? I thought the Fed chair was like, do their job. It's finance, yeah, but it's just like, it's not to lie to us about the economy. It's not to lie.
Consumer spending has been healthy despite these shocks, increasing more than 2% over the past 4 quarters. If you combine consumption with the brisk investment we talked about earlier,
isn't that what
domestic financial purchases
I think it is.
have also risen.
I think so.
These purchases have increased at a pace of nearly 3% or so far this year. That's a measure that typically carols more signal than GDP. Trend here too, positive. So on the employment side of the Fed's dual mandate, our country's doing well.
Oh, it is 53. $53,000.
The jobless rate at 4.1% remains low by historical standards and hasn't changed much in a couple of years. Unemployment claims on a 4-week moving average, an empirically robust real-time indicator, are near their lowest level in decades. In my view, the relatively low turnover in today's labor market is partly a result of the significant rematching between employers and employees that happened after the post.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Jobs numbers, they're not reliable. So we're just going to focus on spending. Oh, spending is up.
Actually going to run low. There are always areas of concerns in the labor market. For example, among recent graduates. In general, though, people who want to work, by and large, are holding or finding jobs. They may well be concerned about future labor disruptions, but as of now,
exactly.
Labor markets are broadly consistent with full employment.
Is that a hairpiece?
On the price stability side of our mandate,
yes, Stephanie, that's right.
The Fed's preferred measure of inflation, the one I talked about earlier, the 12-month change in the PC price index stands at.
It means he's making money.
A little above 4.
Money.
The comparable measures from the CPI index are also elevated.
He's making money.
As are core measures, both PCE
exactly.
and CPI inflation.
Right, exactly, Lee.
None of these measures are perfect.
When Biden was president, 4% was unacceptable.
Inflation is
now it's the best thing ever.
2% target. So the Fed's predominant focus right now should be on prices. So what's our job?
Yeah, what is your job?
The job for policymakers is to capture underlying trend inflation. Easier said than done. We want to gauge whether underlying inflation is rising, falling, or seems to be stuck in place. We also want to understand not just the direction of travel, but the speed. Each of these broad inflation measures have fallen significantly from their highs of a few years ago, but progress over the last couple of years has been more modest.
Oh my God, that is the most corporate way of saying you haven't done well the last 2 years. Growth has been, or whatever he said, has been modest. That's what you say when it was fucked up. This guy's going to lie to us. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be the most spin-based Fed chair we may have ever had. I don't think people understand just how sycophantic this guy is. He's trying to tell you that the economy's fine. That the economy's fine. Look at these two indicators. The economy's fine. I'm pissed because listen, this is like one of the jobs where you wanted independence. You wanted someone who at least didn't speak in kind of flowery fascistic language, right? Trying to paint a picture that wasn't real. Or cherry picking your data points so that you can say, but look over here. Look at this. Yeah. More than Alan, my models were incorrect, Greenspan. Yeah. But there was, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually hearing, I don't think he's addressing you. No, you're right. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is the language he's using in a setting where he's talking to other Fed people and knowing that he's being watched by, the masses. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, what I'm hearing is much more along the lines of someone who is just another cabinet member than I've ever heard from the Fed chairman. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ms. Beasley said we don't need any more jobs. That's right. I know, but I think we are his audience to some degree because he's trying to say this is the type of Fed chair I'm going to be. And what I'm hearing is a guy who is not going to paint the whatever, even if you gave Jerome Powell a lot of grace and said that he painted, that he was transparent about the economy and other things, and I'm sure he wasn't as transparent as he could have been. He's still a corporate guy. He's still a whatever, whatever. But this guy has gone beyond and gone to the other side of the spectrum where it is literally regime talking points about this economy. And that's something that we should never have. Unless those points are absolutely factually correct, which they are not. But he's cherry picking the numbers that he wants to show that everything's fine. I mean, it's another brick in the wall, but.
We're better than expected. They do not tell me that underlying trends have meaningfully improved. The data also show moderate wage growth. But in my view, when tracking underlying inflation, wage growth has not proven a reliable indicator of future inflation for a very long time. So to try to gauge underlying inflation, I want to tell you about a couple things I've always looked to. I find it instructive to disaggregate the 199 individual components of the PC price measure. Over the last 12 months, 54% of goods and services in this basket showed price increases above 3%. This is well below the post-pandemic highs of about 77%, but it remains well above the level of 32% in a couple of the decades that preceded the pandemic.
What the hell is a PC price? Oh, here we go.
The
Oh, that's computers? No, what?
49% of goods and services in the PC basket showed price increases above 3%. Again, this is well below the post-pandemic highs, but still elevated, quite elevated. The recent rise in overall commodity prices
PCE.
also bears watching.
Sorry.
What we need to judge is whether the trends we see indicate upside inflation risks. Now, it matters too whether the inflation readings of the past 5 years have seeped into expectations.
I know, right, Jay? Here's what he's talking about.
Is that measures of inflation expectations in the medium term, by and large, look stable. And inflation compensation measures from the swaps market send a strong and similar message, especially in light of recent developments. It's a credit to the Fed as an institution, consistent with the best of the Fed's traditions, that market prices show confidence that we will deliver price stability. And I can assure you, they're right. The thing about market measures of inflation expectations in economic history, I know some economic historians in the audience, is they all tend to look really strong and durable until they don't. These expectations are not pushed around easily, and right now they are very well anchored. But
I just need to read this. Why the Fed uses PCE over CPI, Consumer Price Index. The two indices provide different perspectives on the economy because of the differences in their data formulas. The Cleveland Fed reports that 3 factors in the formula account for the CPI tending to report a higher inflation rate than the PCE. He does look like a hair helmet. Audrey. No, you absolutely nailed it. One example is the PCE updates its expenditure weights used to combine prices every month, whereas the CPI weights are updated annually. This more frequent updating results in the PCE inflation rate being lower than the CPI rate because PCE can capture and calculate a consumer shift to cheaper options as prices rise, such as substituting a cheaper meat for steak. Let's see. In 2012, the Fed named the PCE as its preferred yardstick for measuring inflation. Interesting. Okay, I'll include that too, so you have it. Well, actually, it's part of that link that I just shared. Sorry. Yeah, it's so bad.
But they must be closely minded, and it's the Fed's job to make sure that inflation expectations do not get unanchored. Now, there is one signal nobody can miss. The responsibility for 65 months of sustained elevated inflation sits squarely with the central bank, and that's where it belongs. So here is my standard.
I'm sorry, what? You're blaming the Fed for a cheaper meat.
We must be confident that underlying inflation is moving to our objective clearly and at sufficient speed. Otherwise, we have work to do. That's our job, that's our mandate, and that's our charge to keep. So I've covered quite a bit of ground in the last 25 minutes or so. Let me see if I can conclude this way. I stand here today committed to
a richer man than I was yesterday.
Decision. My Fed colleagues and I are hardly the first to hold these positions in a time of great consequence. We are determined to redeem the time by doing our very best work. For those of you that know us, you'll know the following is true. We take our responsibility seriously, with humility.
It's really funny because nothing this guy gives off is taking anything really seriously or humility.
We know so much depends on the choices we make. Sound monetary policy helps households and businesses to prosper. When carried out effectively, it broadens and deepens the momentum of our economy and helps to secure America's leadership in the world. And
that's right. He married Jane Lauder. I forgot.
Act wisely.
That's right. Estee Lauder empire.
It's a tremendous honor to serve once again at the Federal Reserve. I'm truly grateful for the encouragement, good counsel, and the warm reception I've received in my first 100 days.
Okay. Are you
from my
done?
colleagues.
Okay, he's done. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Yikes. Okay. I do have a lot of, quite a few little articles I'd like to read to you today as well. I don't think, is there anything really happening in the world? Let me see if there's anything happening in the world. Is there anything happening in the world? Is there anything I can do? Da, 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 da. Wait a minute. Oh, God. Hold
came
on,
back home
everybody.
safely. Commander Reed Wiseman,
Oh, dear.
Pilot Victor Glover,
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Mission Specialist Christina Cook, and Mission
Get ready.
Specialist Jeremy Hansen
Get ready.
proved that America remains the gold standard
Oh,
in
shit.
space exploration.
God damn it. Hold on.
America leads.
Hold
where
on.
Others hope to follow.
Let me go ahead and
It
share.
is fitting that we honor this crew here at Johnson Space Center, the beating heart of American human spaceflight. There is no American presence in space without Texas. And I'm fond of pointing out that one of the very first words ever uttered on the lunar surface
Oh, shit.
was my hometown.
Kevin doesn't need that job.
Houston, as in
he
Houston,
didn't get
Eagle has
a
landed.
job because of his charisma. Turned Cruz. Look at that stupid smile. Oh, I hate that smile so
Elsie's
much.
a Dallas guy, so I got to glare for that one.
Yes, from his wife's
Well,
money.
Artemis 2 was in orbit.
It is, Oren.
I was fortunate to spend time in the mission evaluation room with those working tirelessly
Sorry, it's
to
so
bring the crew home.
hard to hear.
Each of you are critical to securing America's Artemis legacy. And I thank you
Dumpster boss.
for your disciplined service.
Josh.
I also want to thank President Trump for his bold vision for American leadership in space. And my good friend NASA
Fernando.
Administrator Jared Isaacman for working night and day to turn that vision.
Oh, shit.
Into a
I didn't
reality.
see this.
I am grateful to work with both of you hand in hand to secure American
God.
leadership in space.
Fernando
No
Salameda.
administration has done more
I'm
for
gonna go look at
space leadership and space exploration to assure that America is in front and America is leading.
Fernando
President
Salameda.
Trump has made
Holy
clear
shit.
that America will return to the lunar surface, that America will continue to lead in low Earth orbit, and that America will go to Mars, and the first boot to set foot on the surface of the red planet will be an American astronaut.
Oh, okay. We'll send you, Ted. We'll send you to Mars. How about that? You can go to Mars.
And President
My cousin helped
Trump's
to attempt to
bold
make Ted
vision
Cruz
for an
president.
American
Uh-oh.
moon base.
Not Marco
is
trafficking,
precisely
narco.
the
I put it in
ambition
signal.
this
Oh, okay,
moment
great.
demands. It's exactly why I've introduced legislation to help make the
I
moon
don't
base a
understand
reality
why they have
housed
such terrible-
right here at Johnson Space Center. And I will tell you, as soon as we can arrange to send the entire U.S. Congress to the moon base,
Wait, where is it? Shit.
it will be voted on unanimously by the American people. This is a race to ensure that America,
Is somebody else talking?
not China, sets the standards in space. China intends to establish its own presence on the moon. We cannot afford to sit
God.
and watch from the sidelines. We will beat China.
What is this? Wait.
And I have to say, one of the reasons that we are leading is because of the incredible commercial space industry that has grown in and around NASA here in Texas and across the country. Bold entrepreneurs including Dave Limp at Blue Origin, Cam Gafarian. And I want to point to you something that I think we're going to look back as a turning point in space. Earlier this year,
we're reading this.
of SpaceX,
we're reading this, J. Rance.
The largest IPO ever, made at least
for
6
sure
new billionaires, made over 400 centimillionaires, and made over 4,400 new millionaires. Now, what does that mean? I think we're going to look at this moment.
Oh, he thinks it's great that we have
the
all these
Cambrian
millionaires.
Explosion
China is on Uranus.
that began
China
spreading
is in
life
Uranus.
on planet Earth.
Ted.
Because you're going to see all of those young techies who suddenly have a gigantic amount of money.
He doesn't care about
and
radiation.
a big vision. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, that SpaceX IPO will have created a venture capital ecosystem here in Texas that is going to fund hundreds of new space ventures and is going to make sure that Texas continues to lead in space for the next 100 years.
Have a good day. Be safe.
The next astronauts who travel to the moon
It's Friday.
will do so because of Artemis 2. Future generations will look back to this
I don't know if I can
mission as
handle
a
this.
turning point
He's so
in lunar
boring.
and space exploration because of Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, and the countless people who made this mission possible. Our dreams for the future of humanity can become a reality. It is an honor to commemorate
Hi, Janice.
your accomplishments with the Congressional Space
SpaceX is
Medal of
finally going to
Honor.
be
I wanna say to
profitable.
Vanessa Weiss, thank you for the great job.
Bye,
you
Bobo.
do
Have a great
leading
day, Oren
JFC.
says.
It matters for
Oh,
Texas.
she already
It
left.
matters for the
Oh, no,
country.
there she is. Mars needs dandelions.
And to each of the heroes we honor today, thank you for proving that the American spirit of exploration is alive, that our greatest
go.
days are ahead of us,
That's actually,
and that the
I can
next
see that.
frontier
Houston, we have a moron.
belongs to those bold enough to reach.
Houston, come get your village idiot.
4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. And liftoff. A crew of Artemis 2 now bound
Here
for the
is
moon.
your IUD. It's a big space IUD. Okay, we're going to leave this now, unfortunately. It's time to go. I think the president's going to come out, though, and talk. I kind of like this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Look at all those white people. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our show. Yeah, I know someone who knew Ted Cruz at Harvard, and he said nobody liked Ted. I feel bad for Louisiana now. SpaceX. Oh my God. I totally am distraught at what these corporations are doing to every state that they. Mars could use some crabgrass. Is he going to come out of the space nipple?
Please welcome
Wait,
the Associate
is the
Administrator
president coming
for
out of the
NASA's Human
space nipple?
Spaceflight Mission Directorate, Dr. Lori Glaze.
Oh, hi. Let's say. You wore a little short skirt today there, did you, girly?
Good
Yeah.
morning,
You feeling
everyone.
yourself this morning?
Wow, it is
Wow.
just
Oh, we made so much
incredible
money,
privilege,
everybody.
to
Didn't we
be
make
here
so much money
as the
last year?
president
Yay!
awards our Artemis 2 crew with such a prestigious distinction. And it's so wonderful to see all of our guests, our colleagues, and partners.
You know, I've been part of corporations before. I know what it's like to, sing the corporate song of yore. I just don't know. I don't know what I would be like if I were part. Well, I guess I'm obviously not part of a corporation, and that probably says volumes. But if I were part of some kind of corporation now that was involved, like Palantir or anything, I would find it so hard. I hope I would find it so hard to just be so energetic about the fascism. You know, two things can be true. Space travel can be amazing, right? And also the world can be on fire. And while I appreciate the need to have some normalcy while the world's on fire, I don't think it is just enriching private contractors, you know, for space travel at a time when the world is literally burning. Literally. So I don't have respect for people who are in this situation, like this lady here, where she's so excited to be there. But there's this cast over everything that's happening in this country. And I guess, what do I expect? Do I expect her to not show up to the event? I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what I expect. But I expect it not to be so normal businessy. And I guess it's easy for me because I'm not working, you know, a real job. So I don't have to, you know, continue doing that. But there should be a recognition that the world is on fire. And I don't know, I just find it really hard with the people that are in, especially companies and organizations that are directly tied to what's happening in this world. And them acting like, oh my God, it's so great. Oh my God, let's go to the tequila bar later. You know, like, I don't know. It just feels really weird to me. Yeah, Mars needs an asphyxiated billionaire or two. I have a few we could send to Mars. Anyway, I guess we'll listen to her a little more, but I have other things I want to read to you too, so.
That are here today to witness the honor that they're about to receive.
And it's, you know what, I'm not even gonna.
Laboratories and partnerships. And our work in microgravity will continue to advance our
we need marketing.
Deliver direct benefits.
This is dumb. You can't even hear what this cunt is saying. Okay, that's fine. I'm not even gonna bother. We're gonna go on to something else, which is very interesting. And that is what has been brought to us by the beautiful, the one, the only, the incredible RANCE, who's always on it. We're going to start this. The Nadia Beller case that has shocked the country. Okay, so this is Bolivia. We're talking about Bolivia. Okay, here we go. Let's listen.
Learn what happened to her. Huh? Nadia Beller is a lawyer, activist, and public figure who has gained notoriety in recent days. Her name returned to the national agenda after she suffered an attack in Santa Cruz. Beller was attacked by two subjects dressed as delivery drivers. The suspects approached her and opened fire. The activist received 3 gunshot wounds and was rushed to a medical center. Following the attack, the police arrested Argentine Fernando Cermedo at Viru Viru Airport when he was allegedly attempting to travel to Buenos Aires. Cermedo, identified as a presidential advisor and Beller's ex-partner, was placed at the disposal of authorities to be investigated for his possible connection to the case. The Minister of Government, Marco Antonio Oviedo, confirmed the arrest and stated that he ordered immediate action. In Bolivia, no one is above the law, the official affirmed. From the hospital, Beller asserted that they tried to silence her and claimed that during her relationship with Cermedo, she witnessed alleged corrupt deals. She also publicly denounced having suffered physical abuse at the hands of the Argentine. Beller requested an investigation and maintained that the complaints she made regarding alleged corrupt deals could be related to the attack. Meanwhile, the police and the prosecutor's office continue with the investigations to determine who executed the attack, who planned it, and what the true motive was. Who is Nadia Beller?
Wow. Okay, so that's the story, one of the stories. Girlfriend gets a hit put on her by her boyfriend. And then, again, hat tip to our beautiful J Rance. Sarah, this is from elciudadano.com. Sarah Mado's phone unveils major investigative breakthrough, what it reveals about operations and connections in Chile. The contents of Fernando Saramado's mobile phone have opened a Pandora's box within the judicial framework surrounding the far-right political operator, revealing transnational implications and raising urgent questions about his operations and connections, especially in Chile. And I don't know, did you find, let's see, I'm going to look too, because you had a lot of links on this, Jay. So let me know if I'm missing one of the links that has also more information. But we'll definitely follow this. The contents of Fernando Saramado's mobile phone have opened a Pandora's box. Hold on. Sorry about that. Beep, beep. Have opened a Pandora's box within the judicial firm. The disclosure of codes linked to a network of digital wallets that moved $132 million raises urgent questions about his operations and connections, particularly in Chile, where the Argentine consultant had a significant political and business presence. Bolivian Senator Leonardo Roca from Alianza Libre, center-right, has been pivotal in uncovering the new facet of this case, which complicates the situation for the so-called king of trolls, currently detained in the South American country. He is facing 4 charges, including attempted femicide against his ex-partner Nadia Beller, and money laundering, domestic violence, alleged support to drug trafficking flights. The senator indicated that through meticulous tracking of information extracted from Saramado's device, he identified a series of codes that, according to his analysis, correspond to a cold wallet, a storage method for cryptocurrency that is not connected to the internet. This is like air. It's like all air. I don't get it. A storage method. This finding stemmed from an official report by the Forensic Investigations Institute, which included images and text messages from August 12th and 13th featuring these codes. The nature of such a wallet, which operates as a removable storage device, makes it an ideal tool for the discrete transfer of large sums of money globally without raising suspicion at border controls. The public ministry performed the extraction of Mr. Saramado's phone and presented an image from August 13th showing a text message. Next to that message was another indicating room 3 of the hearing, Adrian Lema. Below that was another text note from August 12th containing a series of codes. I began to investigate those codes, and they belong to a cold wallet, Roca explained to the cited media outlet. A cold wallet is akin to a USB drive that stores data. In this case, it's money. It acts as a wallet that can be transferred anywhere in the world and pass through any airport without raising any suspicion. Is there any doubt what crypto was really designed for? Is there any doubt in our minds? Is there any doubt? Or at least what it might not have been designed for, but now it absolutely is. Although I remember when they started talking about crypto and it seemed to be only in the context of trying to hide certain transactions. I don't know. That's what I remember, but what do I know? It acts as a wallet, okay, without raising suspicion. One can carry anywhere from $100 to billions in data and unload it anywhere internationally. It's a means of transport that is currently trending for money laundering, he added. No shit. The senator's investigation did not end with identifying the wallet. He delved into the digital trails left by every transaction recorded on the blockchain. The analysis of this cold wallet's movements revealed that over the last 6 months, transactions totaling $44,000 were recorded across 46 different destinations. Despite the current balance of $9.33 in this account, the significance of this discovery lies in its role as a fundraiser, a node in the crypto ecosystem that collects funds from multiple smaller accounts to then redirect them to larger targets. Is that money laundering? It could be. Tracing the accounts that funded Saramado's wallet led Roca to uncover a large-scale financial web, revealing that the funds were channeled to 10 specific addresses, and deeper investigation uncovered accounts handling staggering sums, including one that holds $132 million. These accounts, known as whales in crypto terminology due to their ability to accumulate and move large capital, raise a multitude of questions regarding the source of these resources and their potential connections to Cerramedo's activities in Latin America, where he is known as an advisor to far-right figures like Javier Milei in Argentina, Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil, Rodrigo Paz in Bolivia, and Nasri Asfura in Honduras. This wallet under Mr. Cerramedo's control appears to be a digital warehouse for accumulating money. Intended for a transit to another location with greater financial movement. Those amounts received were subsequently transferred to a series of accounts identified in this report, which are 10 linked accounts where more than $132 million has been concentrated over the last 6 months, he suggested. The accounts sending money to that wallet associated with Cerramedo include figures of 9.6 billion, 4 billion, 1.7 billion, 1 billion, 975 million, and so forth. These are accounts managing significant sums of money, he stressed. For Senator Roca, the existence of these transactions and the identification of a whale as the final destination should be immediately integrated into the investigation regarding money laundering allegations already facing the Argentine consultant in Bolivia. He highlighted that this discovery must be analyzed through international treaties against money laundering. Well, you know what? Good news. We dropped all of our rules around money laundering, so whatever. Go ahead. He announced that he would be presenting a report to the prosecutor handling the case in La Paz, formalizing his adherence to the complaint and providing all gathered evidence to identify the owners of these substantial accounts. I request an investigation as soon as possible. I wonder if Eric Prince holds any of those accounts. Just kidding. What do I know? Oh boy, we will work on two fronts with the prosecutor's office, and we will also pursue a quicker route through the formation of a special investigative commission in the National Senate, which has 48-hour timeline to issue its corresponding report. Whoa. The scenario unfolding suggests a complex network of financial operations that now must be unraveled by Bolivian authorities. The underlying question raised by this discovery, which echoes in Chile, is whether these substantial transactions are related to the political and business activities Cerramedo engaged in within the country. Through the company Newman Spa, established by his Chilean partner, attorney Enrique Garcia Arancibia, the Argentine consultant was contracted by the Casa Común, a campaign for rejection in 2020 based in Vitacura, led by former vice president of La Polar and Ise Precalmena and ex-congressman of the National Libertarian Party, Gonzalo de la Carrera, along with former president of Codelco, Gerardo Jofre, and business figures linked with the right and far right. Within this organization, Cerramedo crossed paths with the current head of advisors to Segundo Piso of La Moneda, Alejandro Irarrázaval, the current head of the Communications Secretariat, SECOM, Felipe Costabal, known as Yeti, and Ignacio Dulgar, a former advisor and former Metropolitan Regional Councilor, whose primary task was to work on the campaigns favoring the rejection option for both the preliminary and final plebiscites at the time. During his work, he employed a communication strategy based on the use of fake accounts and trolls to manipulate algorithms, position content, and influence public opinion in our country. Last year, I spent my time traveling because I was working on the campaign against the proposed new constitution in Chile, the Argentine consultant stated in May 2023 to Infobay, who is responsible for multiple campaigns of defamation and fake news on social media, and is the founder and shareholder of La Derecha Diario, which operates portals in Argentina, Mexico, in the United States, Israel, Uruguay, and Ecuador. Yeah, we need, the money thing is, it's such the wrong time, to stop paying attention to the money. In that interview, he acknowledged that he managed nearly 50,000 artificially created accounts solely for the southern nation, in addition to others used in Chile. I suppose that's his trolling. The revelation of these connections has had political repercussions. Hold on. I need a sip of coffee. The revelation of these connections has had political repercussions, prompting the opposition to request formal explanations. Deputies Jaime Araya, Daniel Monochere, and Juan Santana have officially requested clarifications from Cervel and La Moneda to clarify the links between Newman and presidential advisors. In the same vein, parliamentarians such as Jaime Araya and Jose Montalva demanded the establishment of a special investigative commission in Congress and responses from officials in the administration of Jose Antonio Cast regarding potential ties to the political operator. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see if we can, I don't know if there's more. Is that him? Bolivian prosecutor confirms alarming message. Oh, let's just see what this says. The Bolivian prosecutor's office confirmed a disturbing message. Hola, eliminamos ya y estamos jodidos. Was found on the phone of Fernando Cermedo, who faces charges of attempted femicide against his ex-partner Nadia Beller, a victim of a recent shooting in Santa Cruz. But wait, what is? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What is? Hola, eliminamos ya estamos jodidos. I need to translate this. I'm so sorry. Translate. Bolivian prosecutor. Oh, wait, what? Can you translate that? I don't understand. Bolivian prosecutor confirms alarming message. Okay, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted you to tell me what that, I want you to translate that. Oh, okay. I'll do it myself. It's okay. Hold on. I need to wah. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sure like everybody's screaming at their computer. It means this. Or we delete it. We're not screwed anymore. That's what it means. Hola, eliminamos ya o estamos jodidos. We delete it or we delete it. We're not screwed anymore. That's what it means. I guess she's the it. Anyway, okay, well, you know what? I can't wait to follow this one, Jay, because this has all kinds of touches to other things that we've talked about, which is all the connections within South America of Americans trying to fuck things up. And what Jay was bringing up was the fact that because this woman survived this assassination attempt, she is ready to talk about what this guy does. I hope to God she's protected. I don't know if it's really safe to be even in a hospital down there. If you're kind of turning state's evidence on a really bad guy. So we'll definitely be watching this because I think I'm curious to see what ties come out of it for Cermedo. I know he's a Trump voter. He went to Mar-a-Lago. Wait, let me go to Signal because Jay, you had a lot of stuff on this guy. Here we go. I'm just going to read some of this. Oh, wow. This is, Jay, I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. Scandal. This guy who apparently helping planes get out of his country with cocaine tried to have his pregnant ex-girlfriend killed, and now she's spilling the beans. He was just at Mar-a-Lago earlier this year. This is Gal Squad in action. Can I tell you, Jay Rance, she found this thing and she's digging deep on it. And I love my friends so fucking much. I can't even tell you. I cannot even tell you. Yeah, he was at Mar-a-Lago earlier this year. And Jay says, I think we found Junior's Coke connection. Jay, I need you to be able to come on screen and we do a duo show. The two of us need to do a show together. I know you don't want to do this because I understand 100% why you don't want to do this. But I am telling you right now, you and everyone, so smart, so determined, so good in your research. And then she says, RYP, is that Robert Young Pelton, the account on Twitter? Links him to Brad Parscale. That's going to be an interesting thing. And now, oh my God, Jay. And so Jay says, my question is, are we just bombing the boats of his competitors? I mean, these are all really good questions. They're really good questions. Oh my God. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Interesting numbers. They add up to about 17.26 billion. Didn't we just give Malay 20 billion? Wow. Latino Wall Street with Tim Ballard, Bianca are you talking about Bianca, the Latinos for Trump, which would have strong connections with Flynn's group? Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. This is a huge story. Wait a minute. Oh. Wait, who is that in the picture? That's Bianca. What is she doing? Oh, she's in Congress? What is she doing? Great seeing Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent this week in Washington during UFC Freedom 250. Tony Delgado. Who's Tony Delgado? And that's Bianca DeGracia. Oh my God. Sorry, I know I'm not showing you anything. It's just a line of. Sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to, show him the cake batter, but or disclose the cake batter. But I just was very impressed with you finding this stuff, and then, I don't know. This is why I love my friends so much. Okay, because they don't just take something at face value and run with it. They go deep. They look for other sources. They look for other connections. And I'm just so grateful because this show would be nothing. I'm going to tell you right now, this show would be nothing if not for Teresa, Jay Rance, Oren, like all the people that share information, Tina, Gal, Clayberg, Jim, everyone. There's so many people connected to this that provide the information that I present. I'm going to tell you, I just wouldn't be aware of half of these things if it weren't for the people around me. So I don't know. I'm just so grateful. So grateful. I want us to all do a panel show. Like, I want us all to be on. I don't want it to be just me. I want us to have like a whole Gal Squad show where everybody just talks about, here's the headlines that I'm kind of chasing down and stuff like that. I would love something like that. It's not possible right now because people have very busy lives and there's a lot of assholes out there that just want to make life miserable for people like us. But in my dreams, my dreams are nowhere but no. Every second of my life, I don't be now new. Anyway, thank you, Jay. I love you. God, I love you. I love you. All right, I have a few stories I'd like to share with you, different topics. A lot of them are from the New Republic. I went crazy on the New Republic last night, and I pulled a bunch of stories from there. So I apologize. We're very heavy on the New Republic right now. But they had some interesting stories, and I thought we should probably read them. So here we are. Here we are. This one is from a couple days ago, actually. Meningitis is a horrible way to die. Trump will make it more common. Mothers who have lost children to the disease are sharing their stories to warn the public about Trump's recent anti-vaccine executive order. It might sound cliche, but it was true. Emily Stillman had a smile that lit up the room and the arms that were open to the world. She was interested in everyone she met. She was deeply funny with dead-on accents and impressions of other people. Her dream was to work for Saturday Night Live, so she double majored in drama and theater in Kalamazoo College, a small liberal arts college in Michigan where she thrived. When the 19-year-old called her mother, Alicia, one Friday evening in 2013 and mentioned she had a headache, it didn't seem that strange. She'd been studying hard. It was the last time she would speak to her mother. Emily's headache worsened that night. At 10:30 p.m., after sleeping for a few hours, she asked her roommate to take her to the hospital so she could get some pain relief. She brought her textbooks to pass the time, thinking she'd be there for an hour or two, but she soon deteriorated. Emily didn't have a migraine. She had a bacterial meningitis, an incredibly swift and deadly swelling around the brain and spinal cord. The doctors moved quickly, removing parts of her skull to relieve pressure, but it couldn't stem the damage underway. Emily's brain tissue was too damaged by the swelling. Her mother arrived the next morning, but Emily never woke up after the surgery. When I said goodbye to my daughter, it was a really, really cold February morning. She had tubes coming out of every part of her body, Alicia Stillman said. I told her, you go. You can be at peace. I'll figure out what happened. After her daughter's death, Alicia needed to know what she had done wrong. Where had she dropped the ball? Hadn't she gotten her daughter all of the recommended vaccines? She remembered very clearly that Emily had gotten a booster dose right before leaving for college, but that was the menacque shot, she learned. Emily died of meningitis B, a bacterial infection for which a vaccine had been approved in other countries, including a few miles north in Canada, but not yet in the United States. Meningitis B is responsible for all known college outbreaks since 2011. Alicia threw herself into advocacy, creating the first Emily Stillman Foundation, and later co-founding the American Society for Meningitis Prevention. She knew she needed to understand the systemic issues behind her daughter's death, so she even got a Master of Public Health degree. In the months after Emily's death, she organized trips across the Canadian border for anyone who wanted to get the Men-B vaccine, and she did everything she could to advocate for approval of the vaccine in the United States. In 2014, her dream came true. The first Men-B vaccine in the U.S. was authorized. I was thrilled, she said. On August 10th, Alicia watched President Dump attempt to erase all of that progress with the stroke of a pen. His executive order on vaccines seeks to classify meningococcal vaccines only for those at high risk or after shared clinical decision-making, a previously obscure category of vaccines where the risks may not outweigh the benefits, which would not be the case for these and other vaccine in Trump's sights, including the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which similarly attempted to slash vaccine recommendations in January before being halted by a court order to create plans for reducing vaccinations. And it takes aim at states allowing only medical, not religious exemptions to school vaccination requirements. It was a gut punch to Alicia. I'm scared for all the kids who would have been protected but aren't now, she said. I'm scared for them and I'm sad for them, for the families that are going to go through what I went through because they don't have to. Oh, I can't even imagine. Meningitis is unsparing. It kills about half the people who aren't treated, and that treatment must come quickly. Symptoms might start with a fever, headache, or stiff neck, but patients can die within hours. Several types of bacteria can lead to meningitis, and it can also come from fungal and viral infections. Hold on. Oh my God, I can't see chat. No, you're right. It just stopped at like 8 o'clock. Thank you, Jay. I didn't know you guys were chatting. I thought everyone was just like, yeah, whatever, we're going on with our day. I can't see chat. It stopped about an hour ago. No, about half an hour ago. Let me see if I can go to my show and see it from there. Hold on. Hold on, please. We're now processing. Everybody, these dreams. Well, I don't know why it's restream. It just keeps an hour ago. Oops, cutting me out. Oh yeah, I see it. I cannot see your chat. Hold on, I'm gonna push it over here, and now I can see it if I just go to the live broadcast. Hey, hit the like. We only have 13 likes. Now we have 14 because I liked it. I'm so sorry. Now I can see it. Now I can see it. Good. I'm glad Jay's not mad at me. That's good. I'm glad about that. My roommate had something like that from skin and oils in his bed, creating a staph infection. Oh, I'm telling you, meningitis is such a scary thing. I was scared when Bobo went to college. I wasn't sure, like, okay, we're going to do this so I can see it. Can Lolo see our chat? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Wait, maybe if I do that, maybe if I take it off and then put it back on. No? It's not updating like anywhere. These dreams. Okay, well, we're going to take it off the stream then because it's confusing. Okay. Wait, where am I? Oh, right. I'm sorry. That's because I was trying to watch that. Sorry. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. The lunar eclipse was cool last night. Helped distract from the new HHS report. Wait, which new HHS report? I feel like I know, but I don't. There's too many things. Every second I'm alive. Are you talking about the wolves in white coats? Is that the ones? This is from their movie. Is that the one you're talking about, Meowing? Did they just release an actual report on that? Oh, I fucking hate these people so much. I can't even tell you how much I hate these people. I can't tell what date this was issued. But it's the wolves in white coats. Is that the one it is? How long until insurance quits paying for vaccines? Right, Janice? Right? Terrible. It looks like Ted Cruz killed the chat. How apropos. That's true. It's true, Audrey. It's true. All right. Oh, boy. Okay. Several types of bacteria can lead to meningitis, and it can also come from fungal and viral infections, parasites, and other causes, but it's largely preventable. There are 3 types of bacterial meningococcal vaccines in the U.S., MenAqui, MenB, and the combined also known as the pentavalent vaccine. Pentavalent. There you go. Oh my God, Jay, I miss you so much. Oh my God. I need to live closer to Jay Rance. Okay. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention currently recommends meningococcal vaccines for all teens and preteens, as well as children and adults at risk, such as those living in communal settings. Trump's new order, if government agencies act on it, would change that, and meningitis cases would undoubtedly rise at a faster clip. Even without making any changes, Trump's order and rhetoric around vaccines will increase confusion and hesitancy. Wait a minute. I had a story about, hold on. I can't remember now what the story was. Hold on. Oh yeah, this is what it was. Okay, hold on. Every second of a life. Whoa. Replace. Okay, I want to just note this. This is from yesterday on MSN reporting. Measles-linked deaths since RFK took office surpassed previous 20 years. Pretty much. It's called the power of suggestion, folks. There are people dumb enough to listen to people in power, and they may misinterpret or interpret correctly, but still do the wrong thing. And here we are, and Bob's your uncle. And he has measles. Good job, everybody. Make polio great again. So yeah, just for that, I'll include this link, obviously, so that you can, take a look, take a closer look. Measles-linked deaths. Measles-linked deaths recorded since Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy took office have surpassed those recorded in the previous 20 years combined. Since 2025, there have been 5 confirmed deaths related to measles, 3 CDC confirmed measles deaths in 2025, and 2 so far in 2026. Health officials, so it has the details of the people who died. There you go. There's the numbers right there. We're really getting into it now. Okay, year after year. Oh boy. Okay, so I'll include that, but yeah, just know that. Yep. Yep. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what people say. Here we go. Okay. The Center for Disease Control currently recommends for all. Oh yeah, we already read that. If the government agencies act on it, it would change that, and meningitis cases would undoubtedly rise at a faster clip, even without making any changes. Trump's order and rhetoric around vaccines increase confusion and hesitancy, and it's showing up in the numbers, bitches. The first meningitis vaccine was invented by American physicist Emil Klaus Goschlik in 1970, and it was soon deployed in other countries to stop outbreaks. In 1981, a vaccine called MPS V4 or Menumune was approved for use in the US, but because of its short duration of protection, it was never widely recommended for children and was only deployed among members of military, travelers, and others at high risk. A much longer lasting vaccine, Menacui, I don't know how to say it, was finally approved in the US in 2005. Only in 2005. Men B followed in 2014, and Men blah, blah, blah came out in 2023. Once the meningococcal vaccine was widely deployed, illnesses dropped by 90% compared to the 90s, when the disease sickened thousands of Americans and killed hundreds each year. But there has been a sharp uptick since 2021 amid a rise in vaccine skepticism, particularly on the right. When the vaccines were approved for wide use in the U.S., it was a great success, said Abby Wold, an advocate for the American Society for Meningitis Prevention. I helped work to get it recommended, she said. She's worked with meningitis organizations for the past 23 years, and she's testified before state legislatures about the importance of recommending the vaccines. Wold is a survivor. In 2003, at age 22, she went out with her friends for one last hurrah, 2 days away from leaving for basic training with the U.S. military. She didn't have much to drink, but still, she was stricken with nausea and started vomiting profusely. At one point, she passed out on her friend's bathroom floor. In the morning, she asked her friend to take her to the hospital. It was February, so her friend helped her change into warmer clothes, and that's when they saw the freckle-like rash across her stomach that didn't fade when she pressed her fingertips against it. She immediately knew why. A year before, a survivor of bacterial meningitis who knew her brother had described the petechial rash to her and explained how serious it was. By the time they arrived at the emergency department, Wold couldn't walk anymore. The rash spoke for itself. Within 10 minutes, she was in a room receiving antibiotics, but after half an hour, her kidneys were failing. That night, she went into a coma with multiple organ failure for 3 weeks. When she finally woke, her feet had become necrotic. 11 surgeries couldn't save them, and she had below-the-knee amputations on both legs. Her adrenal glands also stopped functioning, which is why she has to take steroids for life and has to handle stress very carefully, since adrenal glands create stress hormones. That means she's unable to work. She also had to undergo skin grafts and serial debridements for the deep wounds in her necrotic skin. All told, she was hospitalized for 3 months. And it's an expensive disease, she said. I have lifelong medical costs. My initial hospital bills were $1.4 million. She has devoted herself to advocacy. At the time, the vaccine wasn't available to the public yet. In a deep irony, Wold would have been vaccinated days later at basic training. Then again, the Iraq War would begin a month after she got sick, and she likely would have been deployed. She wonders what her fate would have been. Even though I lost a lot, I'm still lucky, she said. A harrowing type of luck to involve loss of limb and organ. I was so thankful to be alive. When Trump signed the order earlier this month, Wold was thinking about soaring meningitis rates in the 90s. Without that vaccine recommendation in place, they're going to rise back up to the 90s level, if not more, Wold said. Pediatricians have an obligation, she said, to remind people about the dangers of vaccine-preventable diseases that many of us have forgotten or never seen in our lifetime. Not just meningococcal disease, but also RSV, Hep A and B, the flu, other vaccines that Trump would like to make optional. People forget how serious the diseases can be and what a miracle the vaccines have been, she said. She hopes stories like hers will remind them. When the COVID pandemic hit, longtime vaccine opponents like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., now the HHS secretary, unbelievably to everyone, saw an opportunity to take their fringe beliefs to the mainstream, turbocharging anti-vaccine sentiment and a general mistrust of expertise and evidence. When there are mixed messages and not clear messages, people don't know who to believe and they don't know where to turn, said Alicia Stillman, who saw the changes in the public's attitude when she was completing her degree in public health during the pandemic. Sometimes parents get misinformation and then they don't protect their children. When my daughter died, that vaccine was not available to protect her, but it is available now. Dump's executive order also recommends spacing out vaccines, but the evidence is clear that spreading out doses will create barriers to immunization, and it means children go without critical protection because their parents can't take that extra appointment to go back to the doctor to get one at a time, and the medical professionals in many areas are overworked and don't have the time to talk about the vaccines that are now shared clinical decision-making vaccines. They won't even know that their kids are missing it, Stillman said. When deaths inevitably rise because of lower vaccination coverage, parents will be stricken with the knowledge that their children's death could have been prevented. God forbid, she said, but I know it's going to happen. Since Emily died, her two siblings have gotten married and had children of their own, both naming babies after the aunt they will never meet. The Stillmans' lives go on, but they don't, not fully. Every family gathering, every celebration of a milestone, graduations and birthdays, weddings and births, is bittersweet. There's something missing, Stillman said. Your family is never complete again. Emily didn't get to graduate college. She didn't get to leave her teen years. She didn't get to marry or have children. You lose every future experience with them, she said. Stillman tells everyone she can. When you go to the doctor, bring a list of vaccines and ask when your child will get them. Don't leave it up to the doctor to bring up vaccines that might be thought of as as optional, even though they are life-saving. In these uncertain times, a person needs to take a more proactive approach to protecting themselves, she said. We're blessed to live in a time period that these vaccines are available to us. Not everybody, including me, had that blessing. She thought back on her decision to focus on public health. It seemed like the only way she could go on, this unshakable belief that Emily had died so that she would do this work of preventing poor public health decisions, like the delay in approving the MenB vaccine in the U.S. Sometimes, like on the day Dump signed that order, she wonders what she can really do. But then she rallies. She thinks about the time she's run into someone and they've said, I saw your information, or I saw you on the news and because of you, my kids are protected. It's incremental, yes, but it's tangible success. Each child vaccinated is a life saved. It's working, she said. Oh my God, I can't imagine that. That's like one of my greatest things. See if you can rent out Flint's tour bus. Yeah. Does he need to do that? HHS released a new claiming trans people and our allies are violent authoritarians. Oh, what the fuck? I missed that. What? Hold on. Let me go. Yeah. Look at these are the last people to get you healthy. Hi. I'm sleeping with the head of the whatchamacallit. Grace Lisa, I love you so much. Oh my God, Grace Lisa. I'm so happy to see you, darling. I know, it's so difficult. Yes, I send you a big, big, big hug, girl. Really big hug. How long until insurance? Yeah, I know. Okay, let's find this report. Oh boy, these guys. Where's their reports? Nutrition Maha program, grants and contracts. What the fuck? Where's their reports? Programs and services. Health research and information. Shit. Okay, wait, I gotta find it. So, HHS report. Hold on. Government study? Oh, is this it? Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Is this what you're talking about, meowing? Oh, he found it. I'm so sorry. I missed it in the chat thing. Hold on. There we go. Newer than the November 2025 report. I want to open this link in a new tab. Treatment for pediatric. Oh, okay. That's another one. I see. Aha, this one. Thank you. Okay, got it. All right, wait. Let me open this. Open link in new tab. I don't know why I talk through this. Where the clinic meets the movement. Okay. All right, let me read this story on it, and then I will... Can someone tap the screen? Lolo, either we get rid of her now or we're screwed. Yeah. If they can put together a special council, that would be huge. These cartel guys will be... Yep. Let's see. I'm so sorry I missed all these beautiful chat messages. Bonjour, Neil. Bye, Neil. Have a good day. If you left already, I'm sorry I missed you. That's it. Okay, great. All right, let's take a look at this. This is all right. A study commissioned under a trigger warning. This is going to make you mad. So just know now, if you're watching this, this is going to make you mad. I predict. A study commissioned under the Dump administration and released Wednesday by federal health officials. Hold on, I got it. Grandma's too old, you know. Okay. Reports a correlation between support for left-wing political violence, support for transgender affirming care and willingness to justify left-wing political violence. Whoa, there's a lot in that statement. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Can I tell you? Yeah. Oh, he's still here. Okay. No, don't stay, Neil. Don't leave. I thought you were leaving. Oh, forget it. Neil's like, no, I'm not leaving. Okay, wait. Oh, man. Okay. A correlation between support for transgender affirming care. So supporting transgender affirming care and is correlated to a willingness to justify left-wing political violence, including scenarios involving this is all very specific. Okay, this is the most specific study question I've ever experienced. Involving the killing of Charlie Kirk and United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Oh my God. The research queried 1,208 U.S. adults and asked them to weigh in on everything from, it was at a rally. They did it at a Trump rally. Asked them to weigh in on everything from pronoun usage and parental support for transgender youth to whether they believe genocide of transgender identifying people is currently underway. The findings were published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which described the study titled Where the Clinic Meets the Movement. Does gender ideology arm left-wing authoritarian psychology? What? What the fuck is that? Oh my God. According to health.gov, Assistant Secretary for Health Admiral Brian Christine said the results deserve close examination on what happens when ideology is given medical authority. What in the world is happening? What in the world is happening? What? Christine, who was appointed by the Dump administration in late 2025 to lead the U.S. Public Health Service. God. Can we overthrow this regime right fucking now? I just moved my stuff by hitting it. I'm sorry. I'm not like a violent person. I promise. But can we just overthrow this fucking government right now? Oh my God. The study's central tool, called the Clinical Gender Affirmation Scale, evaluated agreement with 5 specific clinical positions on transgender identity, pronoun use, parental support, drawn from guidance issued by the American Psychological Association, the Psychiatric Association, and the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, Per the same HHS release, researchers from Rutgers, the Manhattan Institute, and the Network Contagion Research Institute jointly developed the scale and used the questionnaire results to build it out further. What? 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 Rutgers what? Rutgers what? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me right now? That Rutgers University contributed to this bullshit study trying to further demonize and embroil in danger anyone who supports transgender people and transgender people themselves. What in the motherfuck? Shame on you, Rutgers. Shame on you. Yeah, this report rebrands LGBTQ plus advocacy as a national security threat, dovetailing with NSPM-7, giving them a pretext to turn counterterrorism tools against civil rights groups. Of course, you're so right. Meowing. This is the dumbest premise for a study. You know? This is obviously preconceived notion that, I mean, it's not even a, it's a correlation in search of data. And it doesn't fucking exist. This is so goddamn stupid. And I really hope, thank you for bringing it up, Meowing, because I miss this bullshit. And that is the point. They are going to try and hide all of the fucking fascism that they can because it's just a flood of fascism. And these things can get lost in the shuffle, and all of a sudden we have another set of disinformation we have to combat against. And people's lives are fucking put in danger. Yeah, they created data in the report. It's bullshit. The premise of this is bullshit. The premise is bullshit. Sent hiding potential. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm just like, y'all, we need to get our act together. This is big. This is big. Because this is going to be one of those major disinformation points used to justify arresting and breaking down civil rights groups, transgender people already in danger, now in more danger. Good job, everybody. I voted for the lady who laughed too much, who I was going to have to fight because she supported a genocide. Beyond gauging support for gender affirming clinical guidance, gauging support. Oh my God. It is. There's so much happening, Adriana. And I think they so rely on the fact that there's so much happening that it's hard to mount. It's hard to just mount a defense or an action, I guess. I mean, it's not hard. There's a lot of people who do it, so. It's just a lot. I don't even know. Okay, here we go. What? The researchers queried respondents about anti-democratic behaviors. Anti-democratic behaviors, including whether they believe transgender people should be shielded from perceived threats posed by groups such as white supremacists, men generally, and the Supreme Court. Wait, anti-democratic behaviors? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Okay, well, let's read on. The survey also assessed support for censoring or punishing people who oppose transgender-related positions and for ignoring Supreme Court rulings on gender identity issues according to the New York Post's original report on the study's release. Oh, so they published it in the beautiful and very somber and seriously taken journal, the New York Post. Okay. It's bad. Wait, what did Max say about the article? This report, oh yeah, that is a very good summary of it. The respondents were also asked to weigh in on support for specific violent scenarios, including the killing of Charlie Kirk, the killing of Brian Thompson, the killing of Donald Dump. Wait, he's dead? Oops. Wait, he's not dead, is he? Is he? Okay. Oops. Arson attacks on ICE buildings, violence against police, and damage to wealthy people's property. The Post report states research. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but researchers reported that people who scored higher on measures normalizing transgender beliefs were more likely to support these forms of political violence. Really? Really? Yeah, typo of the day. What? Wait, what? A girl can dream. Holy shit. Regression analysis described by the Daily Signal. I mean, come on, people. The New York Post, the Daily Signal. This is where they have to fucking do their shit. Come on now. Come on now. This is not serious. Found that the correlation between support for gender-affirming care and left-wing authoritarianism. Wait, what? Left-wing authoritarianism? What the fuck? Where'd that word come from? It's 1,200 people, Max, and I don't know which 1,200 they asked. The outlet that reported the study's authors argued gender ideology functions as an accelerant to existing authority. Who wrote this? I don't know what I'm reading. Rather than a simple stand-in for Democratic Party affiliate. What? The study itself concluded that gender ideology is associated with left-wing authoritarianism. I don't even know what left-wing authoritarianism means. Okay, you're going to have to define that for me because I don't even know what that fucking means. And a willingness to justify political violence. It doesn't even go together. Thank you. Did Bob write this? I don't even know. Did the brainworm wrote this? With help from Claude. The researchers wrote that gender ideology may identify an enemy, create urgency, and legitimize violence among people already disposed toward using... Already disposed? How do you know they're already disposed? How do you know they're already disposed? What? Even so, the study's authors were careful to state that they don't really know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, exactly. The prompt, write a serious study on transgender violence. And that left-wing authoritarianism and the clinical gender affirmation scale are expected to predict support for anti-democratic? Excuse the fuck out of me? What the fuck? Excuse me? You're going to call that, what? Excuse me? Wait, what? Okay. Okay, I know. This is going to make us angry. We're going to, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I meet so many trans people on the shooting range. I got to show you this one TikTok that... I got to show it to you. I'm sorry. TikTok. This person making these TikToks makes me really... Yeah, trans people are always cosplaying military. God. Really? Jesus. Enough already. I gotta go. Wait, go. You guys, do you know how to... Yeah. Hold on. I gotta figure out what thing I'm in. No. Just fucking... Oh, man. Hold on. Gotta get a code. Wait, from what? Oh, Gmail. Why do they send codes to Gmail? Oh, shit. Okay, what is it? Okay, logged in. Okay, show me. Oh, show me. Oh, here we go. Hold on, sorry. It's probably going to play. TikTok is annoying like that. Pardon my sarcasm. No, I understand. Okay, stop. Oh my God! I hate this thing. I hate TikTok. Can I just tell you? Hold on, let me look at me. Oh my God, it's just an impossible app. Where am I? Where am I? Back. Oh, here we go. Activity. No, I want liked. I need to go to my profile. Ugh. Ugh. Can you go to my profile? And now it's stuck. Okay, I get it. I get it. Profile. Profile. Hi, can you go to my profile? What the fuck? Oh my God. Come on. Oh, it took all this time to go to my fucking thing. Okay, and I just liked it, so it should be here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Wait. I need this to go back here. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to show you because this is great. Hold on. Sorry it took so long. I really am. It's worth it though. Okay, I love this creator, Dylan. I follow them on TikTok, and their TikToks are funny and sad, but funny. Yeah, trans people riding around in the back of a U-Haul truck. Yeah, that's them, right? Yeah. Lysenkoism? I don't know what that means. Okay, so this is Dylan, and let's listen to. Oh, actually, did I do the sound? Wait. Let me do it right. Do. Yep, I didn't do it right the first time. Okay, now I got it. Okay, here we go.
So just the milk, eggs, and bread comes out to $57? Yeah, inflation. Oh, do you think it's from the tariffs or the corporate price gouging or the energy shocks from the war? Nah. Take a closer look.
Good gag on it. Suck it up. Eat it up. Get a rush.
Trans people. Yep, that makes sense. It's always them. We need to pass 800 laws restricting their access to healthcare and also bathrooms. It's the only way to fix this. It's the only way to fix this. It's the only way to fix this.
Down when you gag. Oh, do you lip swallow it real deep?
So
I love her.
Milk, eggs, and bread comes out to $57.
I'm sorry, I'm watching it again.
Oh, do you think it's from the tariffs or the corporate price gouging or the energy shocks from the war? Nah. Take a closer look.
Good gag on it. Suck it up. Eat it up. Get a rush.
Trans people. Yep, that makes sense. It's always them. We need to pass 800 laws restricting their access to healthcare and also bathrooms. It's the only way to fix this. It's the only way to fix this. It's the only way to fix this.
Down when you gag. Oh, do you lip?
Thank you, Dylan, for really putting this in perspective of what is actually happening right now. So yeah, sorry. Thank you for indulging me. I just really love Actually, I'll link, let me link Dylan this video in the chat so you can follow Dylan if you are on TikTok. I definitely recommend. Okay. All right. Fancy word for bullshit. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to our story. It's the story of my life. Biologist Colin Wright. Hey, he's offering a theory. Good. Thank you, Colin. Let's hear what Colin has to say. Oh, evolutionary biologist Colin Wright, cited in the Post report, suggested that the possible relationship. Oh God, this I wonder how good this is going to be. Suggested the possible relationship may stem from the fact that gender ideology frames the world in terms of oppressed classes and oppressors. Wright said accepting gender ideology appeared to augment authoritarian attitudes. Huh? That support political violence. But he also cautioned that explanation linking gender ideology to violence remains speculative. It's actually non-existent. Okay? It's non-existent. This is not real. This is made up for you to hate trans people. That's what this is. Ugh, I'm so mad. My hair is out of control. All this is. That's the only game in town. Yeah, it remains speculative. He doesn't know Colin doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Lysenkoism. I think I've heard of that. Okay. Bullshit. The study's release comes amid several high-profile prosecutions that researchers cited as real-world reference points for their violent scenarios. Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old founder of Turning Point USA, was shot at a university in Orem while speaking about transgender violence and died at a local hospital, blah, blah, blah. Tyler Robinson has been accused of fatally shooting Kirk and allegedly had a transgender lover. So that's the correlation. Yeah. Huh? The prosecutors have not attributed a specific ideological rationale beyond an August evidentiary presentation. That's right. And there's a lot of questions arising from that. Utah prosecutors seeking the death penalty against the 23-year-old Robinson presented evidence this month showing a bullet casing engraved with the phrase, "Hey, fascist, catch." You know what I think people that shoot people are? They are, there is a mental incapacity. Okay, there's a mental incapacity that allows you to take a gun and actually shoot someone. That has everything to do with your brain and nothing to do with your sexual identity. Nothing to do with the identity, gender identity rather, of your partner. Nothing to do with pronouns. Nothing to do with seeking gender affirming care. People who shoot people are struggling with some mental capacity that allows them to actually carry out an act of violence. That is not related to anything having to do with your gender identity or your support for gender affirming care. This is the most fucking, pronouns. They really fucking hate the MAGA hate pronouns, even though they use them every day. Kavanaugh plot, the assassination plot. Okay, Brett Kavanaugh's an asshole. And so someone, doesn't matter, who's really angry, and I'm going to say just happens to be transgender. This is Nazi shit. These kinds of studies are the modern day Nazi shit of how you turn people against one another and how you create the actual division. This is the way they create division. It's not the leftists creating division, bitches. Okay? We're fighting against the authoritarianism coming from the right. So you're going to have to study again why people get violent and who are the authoritarians in this equation. Luigi Mangione? Is he a drag queen? He doesn't have anything to do with. Why are they even doing this? Why are they including Luigi Mangione? Mangione. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his name. And then, and the Post report also noted this. The Post report? So this isn't an HHS report. This is the New York Post report. I had a MAGA say my pronouns are handsome and intelligent. He did not like my response. It's also revealing that none of the political violence examples included the assassination of Melissa Hortman or other attempts such as in Shapiro or Pelosi. Yeah, none of this. This is on the face of it, this should be laughed out. This has got to change. We have got to stop this nonsense. We have got to stop it. I don't know how you stop it, but we have got to stop it. And there have got to be many more voices speaking against and laughing in the face of this regime with their bullshit attempts to take rights away from people or put a target on their back. The study lands amid an aggressive federal policy push against gender-affirming care. In March, Christine issued HHS guidance declaring that gender-affirming medical treatments for youth carry an unfavorable risk-benefit profile based on nothing, by the way. Based on fucking nothing. A stance that has led to ongoing federal court injunctions against the restrictions placed by the Trump administration because the courts are telling them what you're trying to do is illegal. Public health and law enforcement data continue to show that transgender individuals are far more frequently victims of violent crime than perpetrators, with anti-transgender violent hate crime incidents reaching record levels in major jurisdictions, including Los Angeles County in 2024. This paper, Hoodline, reported. Civil rights groups have noted that the vast majority of anti-trans homicides involve trans women of color. Junk science is the prelude to state violence. I think our chat's back. Yeah, I think our chat's back. Yeah, based on, I wish it was true. That's what their study's based on. Yeah, it is a great slogan. This is really it. This is really it, Max. Junk science is the prelude to state violence. Separately, prior research from the Network Contagion Research Institute in April 2025 surveyed 1,264 U.S. adults and found that more than half self-identified left-of-center respondents viewed lethal violence against prominent conservative targets as at least somewhat justified, a trend NCR researchers described as an emerging digital assassination culture. Okay, listen. Oh my God, please. In the age of overthinking. Yeah, let's put that on a shirt. Yeah, we'll put Max's name under it. Listen. As someone who has been in situations where violence has erupted at some level, not, the worst, but whatever. It is not, first of all, in these protests, it is not the protesters causing the violence. The DHS police are the ones causing the violence. The LAPD can be the ones causing the violence. In my case, it was much more the DHS police who are the troublemakers. They're the ones with the guns. And I don't know people who are totally in favor of blowing up buildings. But I also care much more about people than I do about property. So if civil disobedience does end up in property damage, I don't really care that much as I do about the rights that we're fighting for and the people who are being harmed. So just that comment alone, somewhat justified. It's not, that is such a deeper conversation about the injustice that is happening to people at this moment and the seriousness with which people approach the government and say to redress their grievances. You know, Chuds are familiar with redressing their grievances with the government. But that same kind of, passion is not afforded to the left. It's focused on the right, which every act of violence they do, January 6th, is, a tour, a tourist event. And somehow our desire to redress grievances seems violent, but it's not. This is so this disinformation. I'm going back, guys. I'm a broken record. Disinformation is killing our ability to govern. Digital assassination culture. Fuck you. You know what? You know why I'm more mad now than I've ever been in my life. And you want to know why? Because more people are dying. Because more rights are being taken away than in any time in my life. So yeah, my level of anger at the injustice that is happening in this world, in this country right now, is really motherfucking high. And I would love nothing better in my mind than to punch a bitch. But I also know, as a thinking person, that of course I don't want to punch someone. But I'm angry, and my anger is higher than it's ever been. Because people are dying. And our way of life, whatever way of life we pursue, is slipping farther and farther away into the hands of oligarchs who are going to control what you eat, drink, do, and keep you enslaved in a wage job that will never, ever result in anything. The average price for a home now is somewhere around $400,000. 20% down is $80,000. No one has $80,000 except for rich people. So the whole American dream bullshit, owning a home, escaped most of us. I lost my house during the 2006, right before the 2008. Sorry. Thank you, Meowing, for bringing that. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right, let's read a few more. I'm not sure I'm going to read this. Max Miller threatens to air ex-father-in-law's dirty laundry. This is kind of fun to watch when the leopards eat their faces. Max Miller, who is a representative, I don't know, where are they? Ohio or something? Miller made the veiled threat against Senator Bernie Moreno, who's his father-in-law, amid abuse allegations and an ongoing custody battle over his toddler daughter. Representative Max Miller is needling his former father-in-law, Hold on, I need to make this a little bigger. Yeah, it is Ohio. Okay. The embattled Ohio Republican representative issued a veiled threat against Moreno at the Cuyahoga. I don't know. Yeah, I wish it were happier news too, meowing. Thank you for doing that, though. I didn't realize that even existed. So bad. Claiming that his marriage to Moreno's daughter had revealed things about that he believed the senator would like him to remain quiet about. I'm sorry, I can't read today. I was a part of that family for a very long time, Miller told Mother Jones, Abby Vasulis on video. There are certain things that he would like me to remain quiet about, and I respectfully have. And I will always intend to do that because it's not my business to share. But it's politically motivated. The comment came right after a hearing in Miller's contentious custody battle over his 2-year-old daughter. Miller initially declined to speak with the reporters, but then decided to cut his attorney off mid-sentence to voice the warning. No, Miller's lawyer could be heard saying in the background of the clip. Emily Moreno, Miller's ex-wife, alleges the congressman physically hurt her and their toddler. In court filings and police reports, Moreno has accused Miller of throwing her against a wall, leaving an obvious grab mark on her upper arm, throwing scalding water on her, an incident that Miller refuted as horseplay, and having held a gun to her head. Moreno also recounted an instance in which their daughter told her, "Daddy, kill you." Medical records submitted during the couple's custody dispute cited several injuries to their young daughter as well, including a broken collarbone that Moreno claimed happened during Miller's care. In other instances, Miller allegedly withheld his daughter's favorite toy from her and accidentally published audio recordings alleging his drug abuse as well as naked images of his daughter in misguided attempts to prove his own innocence. It took the Ohio senator weeks to get publicly involved in the dangerous affair affecting his daughter and granddaughter, but Bernie Moreno finally denounced Miller earlier this month, writing in a post on X, where everybody reports the news, that Donald Trump-backed Republican should not serve in the House of Representatives. At least 5 other senators have also urged Miller to drop out of his respective House race. Miller has categorically denied the allegations and sued his ex-wife for defamation in May. He was never charged with a crime, and the Department of Children and Family Services did not find evidence to substantiate allegations of child abuse. Well, that doesn't mean it ain't happening. So that's the drama, ha-ha. Drama, ha-ha. Switching to elections, I saw this caught my eye. The governor of Wyoming said the officials' behavior was irregular. Republican governor calls out DOJ's aggressive election monitors. Wyoming's Republican Governor Mark Gordon is sounding the alarm about the Trump administration's aggressive and irregular elections monitoring. This is a Republican governor. Speaking at a canvassing board meeting Wednesday, Gordon expressed concerns about the Department of Justice's surprise efforts to monitor election sites in the state during primary elections last week, WyoFile reported. To my knowledge, the U.S. attorney was unaware of it, and it sounded like the behavior of the observers was a bit aggressive, Gordon said. Oh boy. It just was irregular. And I have asked the Attorney General to start looking into, kind of the nature of the visits and all that sort of stuff. Oh my God. It's typical for federal observers to monitor elections, but Gordon claimed the behavior of those at last week's voting seemed to overstep the authority Congress had granted to them. I'm not saying anything went wrong or anything else, and I certainly think the conduct of this election was phenomenal, he said. I feel very strongly about federal government coming in and taking our guns, Gordon said. I don't like that, and I don't like federal government coming in and taking our votes either. Okay, well, strap in, honey. In a statement to WyoFile Wednesday evening, Deborah Lee, the chief election officer for Laramie County, recounted 2 monitors' behavior after they arrived at a polling station in Wyoming's most populous district. Lee said she was not aware they were coming, and they did not offer credentials until requested. 2 monitors arrived at the busy polling station and asked staff questions that appeared to be outside the scope of federal voting rights laws, including questions about poll worker training and new election equipment. They also asked to examine their tabulators, according to Lee. When Lee discovered the monitors intended to interview voters in order to assess compliance with federal civil rights and voting rights laws, the election official denied their request. We do not allow interviews to be conducted in polling places. This was a poorly managed exercise and one that showed complete disregard for our state laws and administration of our elections, she concluded. The controversy follows a set of primary elections where candidates claiming elections are safe, as is, did extraordinarily well in Wyoming. Yeah, I think people are like, whatever. They're not really into it. So that'll be fun in November. And more from the New Republic. They were busy last night. Trump's Iran war somehow makes missile shortage even worse. The U.S. is at beyond critical levels. This is reported yesterday. The Iran war has gravely exacerbated U.S. military's advanced missile interceptor shortage in Europe. Practice run. The shortage is beyond critical as supplies have been quickly and unexpectedly drained by the Iran war, according to a Europe-based U.S. defense official, as well as a NATO official who spoke with the Associated Press on Thursday. The deficit is the most serious for the country's Patriot missile interceptors, which are capable of shooting down ballistic missiles and aircraft, but have been heavily relied upon during the war to stave off Iran's Shahed swarming attack drones. The deficit boils down to a supply chain problem. Iran's drones are small, simple to manufacture, and cost roughly $20,000 to produce. They can be launched from almost anywhere and use GPS to find their target. They're typically launched en masse to overwhelm opposing defense systems. Patriot missiles, meanwhile, can cost between $3 million and $4 million per unit. An entire Patriot battery system can cost as much as $1.1 billion, including the launcher, radar, and missiles. As a result of the missile's enormous price tag, production of America's highly sought-after Patriot system is relatively slow compared to its demand. In 2025, Lockheed Martin created 620 units of the Patriot missile. Iran, in comparison, is capable of producing about 10,000 drones per month, reported Reuters. U.S. missile stockpiles were transferred from Europe to the Middle East to aid the war effort, but that has left NATO and American forces based in Europe empty-handed in the face of a potential Russian attack on the continent. See the visit by the CIA director to Moscow to apparently warn them not to attack another NATO country. We'll see what really kind of transpired. Yeah, good. Fewer shells available for the warships. Yep. This is funny. This is a good one. The Lake America. Dumbest thing ever. The U.S. defense official told the AP that the situation could force America or its European allies to take punch after punch in the mouth should the Kremlin decide to launch an assault on a regional military base or nuclear facility. European and NATO officials have warned that Russia could be in strategic position to attack the alliance by 2030, though defense contractors have projected that America's Patriot missile stockpiles should rebound by that point. Really? Okay. Sure, Pollyanna. Russia has been involved all along. Just over 1 week into the conflict in March, the Washington Post reported, you're sitting 100 yards from Lake Ontario at the moment. Yeah. Hell yeah. Reported that Russia had funneled military intelligence to Iran to assist the country in targeting U.S. forces. Afterward, Iran systematically destroyed U.S. missile defense systems across the Middle East, including radars and command infrastructure. In the early days of the war, an Iranian drone attack on a Kuwait operations center killed 6 U.S. soldiers and seriously wounded dozens more. Awfully big fucking plane for the CIA to take there. I know, right? Meanwhile, the Trump administration has rejected opportunity. I wonder if he was bringing pallets of cash, Grace Lisa. Did he bring a pallet of cash? Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Meanwhile, Trump administration has rejected opportunities to buy tech that could have given U.S. forces a dramatic advantage in the war. Kyiv offered its expertise as Ukraine has more experience fighting Shaheds than practically any other country. Downing the same design under Russia's flag, Russia rebranded the military tech as Geron drones, but the Trump administration passed. However, the White House has expressed little public concern over the rising tensions. Speaking with reporters on Thursday, Dump said that he recently had good talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin and that he believed Putin is not going to be attacking. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah. So there. Let me see. I have this. Oh, I wanted to read this. Florida, oh, Florida. By the way, a Canada-U.S. treaty bans warships on the Great Lakes. We know how strictly Trump obeys agreements, of course. Yeah, exactly. Well, then don't say it too loudly, Neil, or you might see a big battleship right there in no moment. That will arrive in October. Yeah, exactly. Grand jury says DeSantis misused $10 million in Medicaid funds. What? What? A grand jury found that the money, which was sent to a charity tied to the governor's wife, was part of a sophisticated scheme to fund political activities. Oopsie poopsie. Oopsie. Yeah, he's still alive. I know. Kind of crazy. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' administration misappropriated, that's in quotes, $10 million from a state Medicaid. Don't you guys control almost all the locks on the St. Lawrence? I would think. According to a Florida grand jury report, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' administration misappropriated $10 million from a state Medicaid settlement to lobby against weed. What? Mean. According to a Florida grand jury report, which was first obtained by CBS News, the money moved from a state Medicaid settlement to a charity tied to the governor's wife, Casey DeSantis, to a pair of dark money PACs, and finally into a campaign to help kill a marijuana legalization ballot measure opposed by the governor. Oh my God, they laundered money through the charity to then get into the political campaigns. This is a crime. This is a big crime. Is a big crime. It's not clear who directed the transfer of funds, which were meant to help low-income children receive health insurance, the grand jury noted. As a result, it found insufficient evidence to charge anyone criminally. It's not clear who transferred the funds. But the funds go from Medicaid settlement to Casey DeSantis. Nobody will take responsibility for deciding the $10 million of taxpayer money would go to Hope, Florida. Jay Rance knows. Oh yeah, Olmeyer, Moody, and DeSantis. That's why Casey isn't running. Yes. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it would be hard. I mean, people have done it, Trump, but while we can't prove who's responsible, we can plainly see that taxpayer money was misused for political purposes, and we would like to see changes made. Oh my God. So this is what they're saying? Like, oh, just don't do it again. Naughty, naughty. Got you caught with your hands in the cookie jar. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. The grand jury's report is dated January 28th, is still officially sealed. Hope Florida Foundation is the fundraising arm of a charity. Yeah, every accusation is a confession. It's so true, Grace Lisa. Oh my God. Hope Florida, started by Casey DeSantis in 2021. The organization intends to connect low-income families with churches and local groups to keep them off of public assistance. That is the goal, the mission of her organization. Isn't to connect people with resources that they need. It's to connect them with bullshit church and other, I don't know who the other groups are, so they don't get public assistance. Wow. The organization, in its own words, Hope Florida goes beyond government to create a pathway for Floridians to live up to their God-given potential and accomplish the American dream. Bullshit. David Jolly, running for governor, committed to opening an investigation if he wins. Byron Donalds says he won't. Of course he won't. Byron Donalds is completely owned by this Republican Party. He's an idiot. Isn't he married to a mom for Lick My Ass? Isn't Byron Donalds married to a mom for Lick My Ass? I think he is. The $10 million transfer to the charity was initially part of a Medicaid settlement between the state of Florida and Centene Corporation, a for-profit healthcare company, over claims of overbilling. In February 2023, Centene Corporation offered to pay the entire $67 million settlement to the state. More than a year and a half later, the settlement was split up. On September 27, 2024, state of Florida officials agreed that Centene would pay $57 million to the state of Florida and $10 million to Hope Florida Foundation. The grand jury's report read, within days, the $10 million was transferred to other organizations out of Hope Florida, which is also bad because you can't just pass through money from a nonprofit. That's not legal. The $10 million was transferred to other organizations for political purposes because money was spent on a political campaign and went to the Republican Party of Florida. This is not good. These are crimes. These are crimes. The governor was involved in a crime. Okay? The state officials that were involved in this transfer of money made a crime. Yeah, Erica, that's right. His wife is one of the moms for Lick My Ass. Byron Donalds. What a joke. What a joke, man. What a joke. CVS Pharmacy, pick up your meds. Okay. According to the grand jury report, after the money was transferred to Hope Florida, it was quickly funneled from there into two political action committees, $5 million to secure Florida's future and $5 million to save our society from drugs. Byron Donalds is close to this issue with Fernando Sarameda. Ooh, via Brock Pierce. Brock Pierce is back, baby. I got blocked by Brock Pierce a long time ago on Twitter. Long time ago. I think. Maybe it's the other Pierce. Who's the guy who was the lawyer for he was the lawyer for everybody. I thought his name was I thought his name was that too. Anyway, let's see. The two groups, okay, sorry, this is important. So according to the grand jury report, after the money was transferred to Hope Florida, it was quickly funneled from there into two political action committees, $5 million to secure Florida's future and $5 million to save our society from drugs. Both dark money groups that are not required to release detailed financial reports. Why? The two groups then used the cash to bankroll Keep Florida Clean, another PAC created specifically to oppose a ballot initiative to legalize marijuana. I think you will, Adriana. I believe in Florida. I believe it. The two groups then used the cash to bankroll Keep Florida Clean, blah, 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 blah. Although the marijuana amendment was popular across the state, it ultimately failed. The report goes on to implicate a series of officials. Oh, John Pierce. That's the one who blocked me. I'm sorry. Another Pierce. That's right. I was going after him way back when, and he finally said, I don't want to see your name on my Twitter anymore. Yeah, that's the one. Not Brock Pierce. Brock Pierce would have been a bigger catch, but that's okay. I'll take my John Pierce. Well, and canal bypasses Niagara Escarpment and falls from Erie to Ontario. I'm going to tell you, we're going to end up having to give all those lakes back to Canada. All right, here we go. The report goes on to implicate a series of officials in Florida state government who may have had knowledge of the transaction, including Republican state candidate Ashley Moody, who's the state AG, right? Who was the state's attorney general at the time. Moody allegedly authorized her chief deputy, John Gard. See, they always get someone else to actually do the dirty work. To sign the settlement agreement diverting $10 million to Hope Florida. Literally, these bitches won't put their own fucking names on shit because they know it's illegal. Literally dumping it on someone. How fucking disgusting do you have to be to dump on someone and make them sign the shit. Fuck, man. No guts. Okay, when asked about the grand jury's report on Thursday, DeSantis claimed the only crime that was apparent was whoever leaked the grand jury report. Oh my God. DeSantis, you're going down, baby. You're going down. You're going down. You're such a clown. You're going down. Yeah. You're going down. All right. Enough of that. Enough of this nonsense. Enough of this nonsense. So, yeah. Wow. What a day. What a day. What a day. Is there anything big happening that I'm ignoring right now? Hold on. Let me just make sure that I'm not ignoring anything. Crazy. President dump.
And officially directed NASA to return American astronauts to the moon and then push onward to Mars. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay, you got that right. He's pushing on to Mars. 7 locks on the St. Lawrence River. I love all this river talk. I really do. I love it. All right. Well, I'm not going to make you watch The President. You're welcome. But I hope you have a wonderful day. And if I don't see you, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. But here's some things here's some programming notes. Tonight, I will be live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time for a rousing game of trivia. Should be real rousing. And then, yeah, it looks like a limp dick. Crazily so. And then tomorrow, if you're part of the Discord, we are showing 3 movies tomorrow night in honor of the people we lost this week. We're going to begin at 5 p.m. Pacific in our Discord channel watching 9 to 5 with the beautiful Dolly Parton. We will then transcend into a Tim Curry film a la Clue. We're going to watch Clue, which is a great Tim Curry role. And finally, because we have to, we're going to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show after those 2 movies. So it's a 3 movie night tomorrow at the Lolo's Lounge Discord. If you are not part of the Discord, please let me know. Hit me up on Discord in the private message, and I will send you an invitation. Everyone's welcome. And yes, thank you. I'm excited for trivia night too. We're going to have fun tonight. Yeah, we're going to have fun tonight. So I will see you tonight. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you Monday. I will see you all the days. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for spending so much time. Thank you for all the beautiful links. I'm never going to get over that. And I mean that just deeply from my heart, that I'm so appreciative of everyone. All right. I'll see you tonight. Bye.